supposed to do the doopy-doo thing.
Ba-dip-doo! Rap-a-tap-a-doo!
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Ba-dib-a-doo.
I don't know the lyrics, Peter. Ba-dip-a-doo-ba-dum.
Nailed it.
Matt Barber.
Did I play the wrong one?
It's alright.
I like this though.
For life, for life.
The actual Mad one has a song with Tom as its intro song.
This is why. I am done with that. Let me tell you, I hit the wrong button apparently. How did that end on top? Wow. Look, I'm even getting it from the boss in the chat. Welcome everybody to round two of the Saturday culture dump. I guess I've got an assembled panel and more on the way.
A gaggle of guys.
A gaggle, yeah, a gaggle. That's
Is that
like
a word?
Yeah, a gaggle is a gaggle of geese. Believe it or not, that you nailed a group of gooses. I want
It's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I want a golden goose for Easter.
I want it, and I want it now.
That's right, baby.
I want a golden goose, and I want it now.
I want it now, Daddy, now.
All right. Well, I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. We got a lot of fun here. We've got 3 balds, ladies and gentlemen. There are 3 balds on the panel.
And one man with more hair than he knows what to do with.
That's right. And we're waiting on the rest, but they'll show up whenever they show up. I imagine there's a passive-aggressive maneuver happening here in a moment. Ooh, look at that.
I'm wearing Spaceballs, the T-shirt.
Spaceballs.
Nice.
The T-shirt.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Grant, what are you wearing? Excellent. Great to go. All right.
Well,
Good talk. Good talk.
let's just say I'm wearing a towel, so you'll have to speak up.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Are you wearing pants? Well, no, you're wearing a towel. That's not good, dude. You can't. Don't be on camera. All right. So, there's a lot of balds here. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Eric K came by early just to say, what happened now? So, Keely Chow's here. I'm going to say roll tide. Roll tide. Today was a weird day in college football, but we're not doing sports ball here today, even though we were watching UFC in the back. Let's see. Oh, hey, the lovely is here. Hey, Culture Boss, good to see you. And the other lovely is here. It's the lovely Sherry. Good to see you. Let's see.
Can I give Sherry her intro? Hang on, because we do this. We got to do that. Just a little Frankie Valley. Just
wait. You must be embiggened. Why do I not see you? Oh, there you are. Okay, embiggened.
Right. Yeah, just do that. Sherry, baby. There you go. That's what you get from me tonight, because my voice is still coming back from having a cold. How you doing?
Did you have a cold, or did you have a flight?
No, I had a cold. Yep.
How come they don't call that a warm? I mean, because honestly, I mean, you like have a fever, and then like other stuff's going on.
That's some Seinfeldian level humor right there. I can respect that, sir.
Why
do they call it a cold?
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't make you cold. It makes your fever go up. It's a fever. You're hot.
I think you can give up this YouTube business and take it on the road as a stand-up comedian, because you've got the goods, my friend.
That's right. Speaking of giving up the goods, Matt W is here. What's going on, Matt? We got Sonora Baptiste in the house. What is going on? Hey, there is no Scott, only culture. to paraphrase a little Ghostbusters for you. We've got a lot of fun today. This is the time when we make the money because Scott's not here. And speaking of money, Culture Sentient Weave for an Australian $2 says Scott's not here.
On cue.
So we'll have some money. Boom shakalaka. That's right. Thank you. Culture Sentient Weave. You know what? I had somebody want to be a Xeno Weave or something. A Xeno Casino or Weave
What does
Casino.
that
Xeno
consist of?
I don't really know, but the Xeno culture. Andrew 46 and 2 saw that today. Indeed. We got some other folks popping in today. We got Eric K dropping 5 Spork and podcast members on y'all. So hopefully you have the live chat turned on instead of top chat, and you hit the accept if you were just gifted those subscriptions. Check them out. They're worth it. We've got, wow, holy cow, 5 of you getting those right away. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Let's see. Foisting along. Foisting. That's not right. Forging along. Forward ever forward. That's what I want to say. We got Marby Dog in the house. Good to see you, Marby Dog. And Clay Thomas is saying, one of my favorite basketball players, Chuck Barkley, said terrible. It's just terrible. And he was
you're terrible.
That's terrible, Kenny. Terrible.
That's terrible, Kenny. Terrible.
Terrible.
He actually said that he would leave TNT for the giant paycheck that's awaiting him from one of those gambling entities. So let's see what happens with
You
Chuck.
pay off my gambling debt so they're not so terrible, and I'll come work for you.
That's right.
Right.
Terrible. Yeah, dude, that guy golfs. He is not a good golfer. If you're not a good golfer, don't bet on your golf game.
I'm a terrible golfer.
It's true. It's true.
Don't bet against Shaq on anything. The guy's got way too much money and an ability for one human.
Oh, Shaq?
And it's annoying.
He's a maniac.
At your call.
He made more money in one afternoon than he did in his entire career. He heard 2 guys talking about this new company called Google, so he bought 50,000 shares on the spot.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
What a lucky guy.
Dude's smart and stuff.com. So there you go. We got AI privilege in the house. Let me tell you a little bit about AI. AI is going to take over the world. And you should try to figure out a way to stop it. Or at least I'm going to try. Although I use AI. In fact, Grant uses AI to do some stuff for me. So
it's all your thumbnails are AI.
I know. I've noticed that lately. Well done. Passion Paladin says, "Hail Fellowship, hail to you, my friend, and your awesome avatar picture." Let's see who else is here. We got Kitty Bear, Stephen Paul. What's up, Kitty Bear? Good to see you. You are not here. All evidence to the contrary, my friend. Let's see. Do we have anybody else here that I missed? Tina's here. Hi, Tina. Everybody say hi to Tina.
Hey, Tina Bojan.
There you go. Etep Wokuian, Sheen Manabadubi. This guy, he's here, and he's in the
bebop.
Are you the scat man?
Yep, maybe.
Brett Sanders is here. Good to see you.
I'm the scat man.
Hey, let me tell you.
The good 90s music.
Potra Station. Is that like protestation?
I don't
don't know, but it's
that's
cool
a really
name.
weird
And it's a great avatar because it's a Lego Darth Vader, I think.
Lighting a smoke. It's not a Lego Darth Vader.
Oh, it's not?
It's Darth Vader lighting a cigarette.
What now?
Okay, look at
no,
that.
smoking's bad for you. It stunts your growth. It's like losing your legs.
Sometimes I like to just relax and have a nice Winston.
Careful, kids. Smoking is not good for you. Okay, anyway.
I don't even have any lungs left. What difference does it fucking make?
You shouldn't have built your base on a freaking volcano with all that sulfur around.
All right. Well, Mark's here, and then don't ask me to be as serious as you is here. What's up? And let's see. Okay. All right. Well, we're caught up with the chat. Thanks for being here, everybody. Yeah, Matt's like smoking. Anyway, we have stories, but first we want to introduce our special guest. Our special guest. It's Etep Wokuian. I'm going to do this guy.
So special. I need a helmet. Hi, I'm Etep Wokuian from the Place to Be Reviews. Good to be back over here with everybody. I was here last week for a little bit, but yeah, I had to depart a bit early because I had my show, which has been moved back to about 11:30 p.m. tonight to encapsulate the greatness that is this show, this panel, and this chat. So thank you for having me again. I do appreciate being here.
It's awesome. I'm glad you're here. Speaking of greatness on the channel, Jane Theory. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest voice on the internet, and just the nicest person that I could ever possibly hope to.
That's enough.
Hang out.
That's enough. Settle
Okay,
down.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Jane, how's everything going?
Everything's going good. Really good. Happy to be here. Glad I made it. Running late.
No, you're fine. I'm glad you're here, and so is everybody else. Because otherwise, lots of dudes, mostly balds. I mean,
A lot of dudes.
you and I are representing the hair game. Is all I got to say about it.
Yes.
All right, yeah.
I was gonna do. I told my wife, I want to grow I'm gonna let my hair grow back again, and she was none too thrilled about that because I literally just posted a picture online of me with my hair. It was really long back in 2018. It was like I just would comb it back and rock the Hollywood Hogan bandana around it. And she was like, "Let's not do that." She goes, I'll cut my hair like Sinead O'Connor if you grow your hair back. I'm like, I don't think your work would allow that, so I'm gonna call your bluff. And yeah, so no, I shan't be growing my hair back. Which
Okay, well,
I couldn't
looks-
fire
it looks-
you. Nothing compares to you.
nothing compares to you.
There you go. Look,
So I always assume you would rock an awesome Jufro.
well,
Dude,
he-
it gets. I don't have the fru, but the fru. I don't have the fru. I don't have the. I never got that, but like when it gets long enough, it just gets really curly.
Curls?
It
Curls,
curls.
yes, same, yeah.
I. Okay, wow. Can we move away from some cultural stuff real quick to say?
I'm Jewish.
He rolled with it. He rolled with it
hell?
really, really well. If you ask me,
It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's like
I've
saying I
never
have a
heard the
big
term
nose.
Fru. I'm going to
Wait.
use that at some point.
Return of the Fru. Is
There's
that
that was just
people
me-
who have really good froze, so it's fine.
yeah. No. Wow.
It's a Jew fru.
I've
No,
never
you'll
heard
see-
that
you'll
term
see- you'll-
before.
You'll see that haircut.
I just
on
made it
season
up, I
4
don't-
of Lord of the Rings. Don't worry.
Wow,
Yeah.
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Oh,
really
I've
soon.
got a good opener for that one because watching the opening of that episode, I was like, just real quick, I wanted to say, I was like, man, I'm like, the people at Fox News were not treating Don Lemon nice at the beginning of that episode. He did not. Come on, the elf looks like Don Lemon. It's funny.
You
That
get it 'cause he
episode was bad
trained
though.
up?
They
It was,
keep making him look like him.
That's
they
true,
do.
right,
They
Jim?
do they purposely cut it like hey, we're gonna hook you up with the haircut. Like, I mean, it was, but
It's
the
weird.
character, it is. It's weird.
Weird.
All right, sorry, Coulter, go
He's
ahead.
the one character who ends up in chains, literally enslaved.
Yeah, yeah, but Amazon, so progressive are they? They're like, look, you might want to look at the optics of that one. I mean, what's next? Are they? Never mind. I was gonna make another Jewish joke, but I won't. I'll
Dude,
wait.
Hey.
I'll wait. They're gonna be like, look, we have Jewish
progressive.
elves, and we're taking them to shut. Never mind. Never mind. Never
Easy.
mind.
Oh, ouch.
Never mind. I can say it. It's okay. I mean, but this show. But I mean, look seriously. Like Jay said, the optics of that, it's not good.
And the primary white female is a Karen. I mean, they really have gone stereotype by stereotype by stereotype.
It's weird.
I am the biggest normie when it comes to that. And even me and my wife are sitting there. I made her watch the last episode with me, and she's like, because they're watching the Jackson trilogy right now, her and my son, and she's like, that was boring. I'm like, yeah, the worst part of it are the Harfoots, I swear. Like, they're just, I'm on my phone. I can't pay attention to it when they're on the screen. It's just
I'll
like,
leave
man.
Hobo Baggins alone.
Ruthless.
That's crazy, right? That's the worst thing you can be as a show is boring.
Mhm.
I fall asleep during every single episode.
Oh, really,
I
Jane?
don't blame you.
It's so bad.
I don't blame you.
Well, guess what we're going to talk about first then?
She-Hulk.
Oh.
No.
She-Hulk, yes! Oh, damn.
No.
Thank
I don't
God.
think I don't even think I have a She-Hulk story. I don't know. Maybe I do. Anyway, look,
please
let's
no.
do this. Let's talk about this. This is
It's
this is,
Whoopi.
yeah.
Oh my
So
God, she's gotten fatter.
I don't have commentary there. What I'm going to say is this: Star Trek
Hey, I'm a
Picard
fat kid. I
actress.
can say it.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
got his F card. He's right.
Bald and round. Okay, here we go. Star Trek Picard actress Whoopi Goldberg, the last celebrity to imply celebrity to imply critics of House of the Dragon and the Rings of Power are racist.
What
Now,
what
Josh wrote
critics
that-
of House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
I
don't
Shane,
think there are any.
I asked the same question. and
Literally,
Yeah.
literally none since it aired.
She thinks all the nerds in all these shows are all the same.
Mhm.
She's like,
Oh, yeah.
you nerds are a bunch of racists. You can't imagine that there's a black elf, but you got no problem with, believing in dragons and shit.
That's the one thing, right? Toussaint really did a 180. I'm going to ask Jane about that before we even start this article. You
I
saw
don't
his original article, right?
Yeah, I don't even think he did a 180. I think, like I said in the comments about it, I think that he probably did get some racist comments. He judged the entire fan base based on that. And now that people like the show, and it's even some people who are critical of his casting, myself included, are saying, no, it's a really great show. The actors are doing a great job, and I'm being entertained.
Right.
He's now realizing maybe that it's not the whole fandom. It was just those few people he was having to deal with at the time. Like, they need to stop treating trolls, which exist on social media, as the entire fandom. Separate
Sometimes
the
I'm
two.
not even. Oh, sorry, Jane.
Just don't try to market your show based on that. Don't make yourself a victim.
Sometimes I feel like a lot of times it's them doing it to themselves, right? Like underhanded, like fucking ops shit. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I
think
a lot of, yeah, sorry.
Because the girl posted like 3, and it was probably bots or randoms or idiots or whatever.
Right.
But like the Reva case, whatever. But I don't think it's not that it's not happening at all, because I have people occasionally post racist stuff under my posts, and I just I'll
I
hide it
apologize
and
about
then
that.
block them. But it's not a lot of people. It's like usually 1 or 2 comments.
Yeah, it's got to
Hello,
be.
everybody.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
I
the
was looking
super
for a
handsome
segue
dude showed up.
to introduce.
Hey,
you.
Jay.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I didn't. That's not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. There he is. There's the handsome guy. Hi.
Hello. How's everyone?
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Oh, then
Wait,
you put
ended up
it
at the bottom.
down the bottom. Wow.
I
I
didn't
see
do
how it
that.
is.
I hate this.
Wow.
We're getting a lot of echo from somewhere. What the fuck was that?
It's probably me. Grant, move people around so it works. Fix it. Thank you. Okay.
Doing a lot of shuffling.
There we go. All right. Whew.
Yeah, but I just think these people are being very disingenuous here, because once you go online, there's just going to be mean people. And mean people say mean things. Whatever they think they can say to you that's going to get a rise out of you, that's what it will be. Whether it's gender-based or whether it's race-based, you just got a lot of scumbags out here, So this dude is a grown man. I'm talking about the guy from House of Dragon now, you go online, you know what you're going to get, you know what it's going to be, it's up to you to choose whether or not you want to amplify that, or you could choose to just look, this is just part of the business, and just keep pushing on, which basically is probably what he's doing, because House of the Dragon is getting great reviews. People are liking it. They're liking his performance in it. It's what you make of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, despite his canon-breaking character, people absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, and he's shown appreciation to the fans for that after the fact. Like, he's posted stuff about thanking everyone like that. So I don't understand where she's coming from. This is the thing that I hate. They do. They take one thing and they equate it to a fan base.
That seems to be a regular thing, though. I mean, and that's the problem, right? That's a playbook. This is the thing we call out. Yeah.
It
doesn't
like,
work.
It's celebrity A says this. We know exactly where it's coming from, how it is. Yet then next week it'll be another celebrity and another one and another one. Like, you're talking about the most diverse company in the world, Amazon, whose board of directors are all white, whose producers are all white, whose directors are all white. They're the most progressive one, and they're the ones that want to lecture us on top of it because of their casting.
Yeah.
Look, we can dive into this article unless anybody else has anything else to say. The only thing I want to add.
Reiterate it or what?
Yes, please. Yeah, you have a great reading voice.
Or do you want me to
that,
put on
use-
sexy reading voice?
Sexy
No.
voice,
I
yeah.
just no. Read as your own self.
You like
No, do
sexy, creepy
I'm in
voice.
town, I
Sexy
need
is
it.
good.
You don't.
Nah, you didn't
Come
like
on,
sexy,
baby,
creepy
light my
voice.
fire.
Star Trek Picard
Try to
actress
set
Whoopi
the night on
Goldberg.
fire. Oh, go
Come on,
I'm sorry.
baby, light my fire.
Mark, are you gonna sing? Because if you're gonna sing, we'll
Yeah,
all
if
be
you're gonna
quiet.
sing, let's go for it.
Try to set the night on fire.
There you go.
Know that it would be untrue. Come on, guys, join
Yeah,
me.
baby.
Know that I would be a liar. Oh, shit, you got me blown up. Damn.
It was to say to you,
I think you blew
girl,
yourself
we
up on that
couldn't
one,
get
Mark.
much higher. I loved it when he did that in the movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Because they wouldn't let him say that. Anyway, Star Trek Picard actress Whoopi Goldberg on the latest Celebrity to imply critics of House of the Dragon and the Rings of Power are racist. Unable to keep her insufferably woke opinions to herself, Whoopi Goldberg is making headlines after labeling critics of House of Dragon and Lord of the Rings of Power as racists for expressing legitimate concerns regarding their treatment of their respective source materials. Moving slowly.
Oh,
moving
did you already get there?
I'm a quick reader sometimes.
He's giving us ample time to take in the beauty that is Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes. I want to start by saying these things ain't fucking real, okay?
God.
Preface Goldberg.
People who are listening to this, that's not Whoopi. That was actually
Sorry.
Tom.
Yes, that was me doing an impression. In a recent episode of ABC's The View, is this her talking right now?
Yeah.
No, this is not.
Yeah. The Lord of the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's
The new
her.
Lord of the Rings series, Rings of Power, and Game of Thrones prequel, House of Dragon, are both massive hits, but they don't exist in the real world, okay? There are no dragons. There's no hobbits. You know that, right? And there are critics who are saying they are too woke by adding diverse characters. Are you telling me black people can't be fake people too? Is that what you're telling me? No, you said
that's
black
not
people
what
are
we're telling
fake.
you.
No.
Fine.
Not what we're saying.
But Michael Sarah is now T'Challa, and let's see her be fine.
I can't
with
wait.
Jane,
I thought we were gonna cast
I'm not
Bobcat
Whoopi. It's me.
Goldthwait.
It's me. I promise.
Look, here's the thing. Specifically with respect to Game of Thrones, and that's the thing too I want to say is that there are levels to this. Game of Thrones has for the most part been completely and wholly inconsistent with casting. Like I had to set aside the entire show from the books because they look nothing alike. That's a bit different from the Rings of Power, where we do have the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films that try to stay a little bit closer to being consistent with what the characters look like.
and
So
the
there-
animations and all that as well.
There is
There's
a
the
difference
pre-existing
even between the two.
Yeah, I just look. I mean, her tweets were just excellent. You know, excuse me, her comments were just stupid. But we don't have to read that tweet. We know what it is. All right, here you go. A little more Whoopi for you by our friend who can actually sound like Whoopi. Tom
I don't know if there's like a Hobbit club. I'm probably part of it. I don't know if there's going to be protests, but people, what is wrong with y'all?
I don't know.
The argument is that the race swapping of their characters betrays the source material. I can't read.
What?
Keep going. To this very confident, biased, and clueless, Goldberg asserted that anyone... Come on, I can't keep... I haven't read the source material. See, she said she can't read.
She haven't read it.
Having not read it.
Keep going.
Which doesn't
just
make any
did.
sense because we're making very particular arguments about what doesn't work.
Yeah. Then we got another super chat from Jin Wong. Sorry. Oops. Wrong button. Thank you. Mark, would you be partial to singing a wow, okay, this is completely not in the subject. Singing a gig for a preschool show. I want to pitch a show with a Tom Jones style singer belting out disco kids songs. Well, what do you think about that, Mark? Does that sound like a job
Well,
for you?
all right. I don't have to dress in drag, do I?
No. This is no. You're just gonna
That's
belt
like
it out
all the
like Tom
rage.
Jones. Tom Jones, you know Tom Jones.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
by anyone.
Yes. Absolutely.
He's a sex-
I think you
Yeah.
should.
Are people going to throw panties at me? Can I get hot women to throw panties at me? I'm
Yeah.
there, man. I'm there.
Man, no.
All right.
No.
Well, if it's for preschool, I don't think that's something you're gonna like.
Oh, right. There's that. Okay. Never mind.
What if the moms are there though?
Moms are there. Okay.
I'm just gonna say I teach K through 8, and my kid goes to school I teach at. So I'm just saying there's a lot of hot moms involved, probably. So I mean, not necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily a bad thing, you know. Tell me to put on an evening performance for the parents right there, and boom, in there like swimwear.
And that's better than a family drag show, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
absolutely.
All right.
Hilariously, Hostin then interjected herself to push back against fans of J.K. Tolkien or something like that. Yes, actually.
J.K. Tolkien?
What?
J.K. Tolkien.
J.K. Tolkien. Nice.
Oh my God. See, this is the thing I can't. If you're gonna have this conversation with fans, you need to know what you're talking about.
Apparently
and
they
put forth
don't.
some legitimate arguments. Otherwise, just stay out of the conversation.
I'm a big J.K. Tolkien fan myself, though, so I understand.
Yeah, I love the Harry Hobbit books.
Yeah.
Harry
Where
Hobbit.
they go to Gandalfoots or whatever the fuck the place is called.
Gandalfoot is an incredible location. I mean, could you imagine going to school there? I mean,
you're a ring bearer, Harry.
You know, didn't J.K. Tolkien write that? Wasn't it Gary Potter? I think.
Gary
Pothead. Yeah.
Here's my question:
Gary
Why is she bringing up violet eyes? We didn't get the violet. That's one of the problems that I have is that we don't get the violet eyes. I want the violet eyes.
That would be cool.
It would be.
See, now, if this was something they actually gave a shit a bit about, it'd be a different story, right? That's the thing that really it boils down to again. It's just like everything else. It wasn't until they decided to try and do this shit to things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer when we actually saw these same individuals come out and say something.
Yeah.
You know, even when, like, it's like, really? Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Why can't we have a black Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I don't see why not. Why not?
Black Slayers. Just make a black Slayer that's not Buffy.
See, and that's the thing that I couldn't get is their argument was even dumber than anything.
You know,
because Jane and I have had this conversation a few times, and I agree, like, with the fact that there's no reason you can't really pretty much swap out any character as long as you don't change fundamentally who the character is. My issue is when they start stacking on stereotypes, whether it's sex or the other. You know, it's just the point of, does the character fit? You know, does the actor make the character breathe and live in the moment? It doesn't matter what color they are or what sex they are necessarily.
And are you using them to further a particular agenda or platform? Because that's my problem with the casting with Corley's. It's like, it's not just that they cast a black actor. It's true, we don't know what his mother was. It's true that they're seafarers, so she could be anything. But you didn't cast it that way. So why didn't you cast it that way? And the only explanation I can come to is his son, who we know is going to be gay.
You nailed it. That they have to have that in there. You have so they can knock off the diversity quotas. We gotta have a gay character, a black character. Let's just merge him into the one character. If we can get him bald and fat, then we've got the quadfecta going. You know, the quaddy.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Speaking of bald and fat, we're gonna get to the Weinstein Jennifer Lawrence story later. But
so you went speaking of, and I was just about to highlight the super chat, and then I heard the rest of it. I went, I better not.
No, I'll get there. Victor Fontaine says, I'm with Jane. They need to have violet purple eyes. Now, I'm going to say this. I can actually do motion tracking on people's like irises and everything. So if anybody ever, and corneas and all that. So
that's old school, like, easy shit. Like that was one of the first things that somebody did when they're like, basically it was impossible to do Dune back in the day. To do the extended cut. If you've ever seen the TV version, their eyes are not blue like they're supposed to be because they didn't have the money to fix it. Somebody went and did it on computer. In the Spice Diver edit, he fixes all those shots. It didn't cost anything to do. He did it on his computer for nothing.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do all those shots in a matter of moments, but that's just, it just depends on the editor you're using. But Jin Wong says something really important for an Australian $5. Thank you, Jin. You're sponsoring the show tonight so far. Guys, Scott's not here. It's fine to give money. This is the whole point. When Scott's not here, support the show. Anyway, so for $5 says nobody ever graduates from Gandalfoot because you shall not pass.
That man not only deserves the $5 back, you should pay him, Culture. That was gold.
You read
The
it.
winner of the internet is
No,
Jen Wong.
shall not pass. No, I mean, that was hilarious. We should pay him to write our jokes from now on.
Okay, all right. Okay, Jen Wong, checks in the mail. Actually, I need to hire you again. But anyway, Jen Wong's a hell of an actor.
Can I just say something about Whoopi Goldberg, though? That really makes me chuckle. Like, some of you might remember way back in 1993 when she was still banging Ted Danson. Do you know where I'm going with this? Do you remember that?
I brought this up the other day.
I know where you're going.
I did, Mark.
Yep.
Okay. And Ted Danson came out in blackface,
yes.
Looking like some type of minstrel show or whatever.
Yes.
And she was chuckling and, just yucking it up. I mean, I would think that might have been offensive.
It gets
to some
worse than
black
that, Mark.
people
You might not
somewhere.
remember, or maybe you do. They were giving him so much shit that she came out and said, "What the fuck, guys? It was my idea."
It was my idea. That's right. She sent him out there to do that, to offend all of those people. Now all of a sudden she's Miss, black this and black that and black people. Spare me, Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's
come
not
on.
her real name,
Why
though.
does anybody even listen to this clown?
It just shows me that she's not that bright.
But that's not her real name.
It's sad though, because she used to be real sharp. But you're right. Sometime in the early '90s, she just kind of went off the deep end somewhere.
Karen,
After she won that Oscar, probably.
Isn't her first name Karen? Karen.
Yes, it is. Karen. Yeah.
Unironically, yes, it is.
I want to say Johnson, but I could be wrong. That could
Nice.
be. By the way,
as hell ain't
George the
Goldberg.
Giant Slayer just slapped everybody
He's
with
slaying us.
20 podcast memberships. That's right. You guys, if look at all the members, turn all the names green. Thank you, George. Everybody say George.
Can we someone have a clapping sound board thing?
Yeah, somebody does.
George!
That's not a clapping sound.
You said all the peoples. I can only do two voices at once, okay? That's all I can really do, okay?
Can you clap?
There's for George,
There
yes.
Good Lord.
Thank you.
How
George.
That's one of the longer ones too, probably, for all I know. See? You probably shouldn't have had me do that.
No, I think it's great. George deserves the accolades.
Wow.
Appreciation.
Yes, accolades is the
Accolades.
word you're looking for, yes.
Yeah,
We love you, George.
Whoopi's name is literally Karen. Yes,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
think I got
Yep.
the last name right too. I think I did.
I don't remember. Now you got me second guessing.
All right, you better look it up. Look it up.
She's a hypocrite.
Oh yeah, that
She
was
is a
clearing in my
hippo,
class.
indeed.
Cheering in my
Karen
class.
Elaine
Great.
Johnson. Yes, it is.
I knew it. Ah, I love my brain.
Karen
Okay.
and a dick at the same time. That's insane.
Yeah, she said she took her name from some ancestor of hers, but it's like, so because of Hollywood? Is that why? Reached all the way back, all the generations for a Jewish ancestor to make it out.
She ain't got no Jewish ancestor. She's full of shit.
I anyway, I'm not gonna try to guess her heritage. So,
And what was like Whoopi was a family name as well. Somebody, yeah. No, it was a stage name. That's what it was. She thought she was being clever.
She named it after her pie.
What now?
You don't have Whoopi pies over there? Oh, well.
No.
Maybe she named it after her favorite cushion then.
I think
I was gonna make a
Florida.
cushion joke
Something like
next.
that. I forgot where she got it from.
All right. Well, yeah, we have more to read.
Oh, she says more stuff?
Yeah, there's more. Houston says some dumb shit. Here we
Oh,
go.
God.
Shamelessly claiming to be a fantasy nerd, Houston, is that how you say your name? Declared
Okay.
in support of Goldberg's whining. What I think is fascinating is like dragons are okay, fire-breathing dragons, and people with white hair that are born like that when they're little and violet eyes, but the black people in it are just a bridge too far for these folks.
That's also not true. Nobody is criticizing House of the Dragon.
Nobody said that. Like, as far as like, I've never read the books for A Song of Ice and Fire, any of that. I have the set. I need to read them. I want to read them, but this is the thing. Like, I watched the show after the finale. I did watch reviews of the episode just because I was interested, because the kerfuffle, as it were, about the last few seasons and how they kind of shit the bed basically, and coming into this show, so my expectations were very low. I saw the casting. I'm like, all right, whatever, because there's certain areas in this world where there are darker skinned people, like your like the Dothraki and was it Essos, I believe, would be more it's not all white like Westeros, correct? I mean that's what it is. Essos.
Multicultural.
Yeah. So in this family, Steve Toussaint, the actor, they're the Valerian, I believe, is it?
Valerian, yeah.
Yeah, true blood Valerians. They make a point of letting everyone know.
Well, that's
true
what they
blood.
say in the show, but it's not accurate in the books. They're not pure blood anything.
Okay,
and that's kind of what I was wondering. Like, now I don't know anything about the Valerians. I don't remember anything about if they were in the first show. I'm not good with names and stuff like honestly. So I was wondering like, how is this far removed? I don't know from like the actual thing, but I like the actor's performance. I mean, Steve Toussaint's his name. He's played the role well. The last episode, the battle sequence, the disagreement with him and his brother, I think it's Raymond. They have the disagreement with Raymond's kind of calling out against Matt Smith's character Damon because he's riding the troops too hard and they're getting their ass kicked by the crab feeder, and he pulls them back in. He's like, we're not going to facilitate a mutiny here. And you have this moment, and like everything has been. I haven't seen anything to complain about a performance so far.
What it is that the kid, it comes up with his son. His son is the important factor here.
Yep.
Laenor is classic Valyrian in terms of having the light skin, the very light silver gold hair, the features, everything. Right? He looks he looks pure Valyrian. He's not, but he looks it. And his wife looks it. So when they have children and the children are born with darker features, there's a question of paternity. Like, where did these come from? Doesn't make any sense. And so he leans into his mother, who in the show has Valyrian features, when in the story she has darker features, as the explanation for it. So this what they've done throws all of that off kilter.
Okay.
Well, and again,
I don't know the lore, so thank you, Jane.
And it's honestly not the worst part of the whole problem with this, but it to be honest with you, my objections ceased the moment that this show became, good, watchable, something that was entertaining, which we haven't had, right? Lore be damned, when it comes to physical description. Sometimes a quality show with good writing and an excellent portrayal by an actor overcomes some of the some of the skin deep things. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, is it accurate to the books? No, but I look real quickly because I want to get back to this, but I want to jump here because Sonora Baptiste was looking for the way to get the memberships. You do have to change from top chat to live chat, and you do have to accept the membership when it's granted in order to make that happen, if that was the query there. So I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people aren't aware how to accept a gift membership. So there you go. And Annie Masterson, the very talented person, says that clearly GOT is not set on Earth. So, well,
I mean, it's okay. People say the same thing about Lord of the Rings. It's not set on Earth, but it is an earthen parallel. It's very similar. Yeah. It's inspired by Earth. It looks kind of like Earth, and things are more or less in the same places. Yeah. So it does matter. And the thing is, a lot of fans want to see the rest of the world. We didn't want to be stuck in Westeros. There's a whole planet to see. And they could have gone into any of those locations to pick up on stories about what people are doing. And that would have been an opportunity for greater diversity. But they choose not to do that time and time again.
Yeah. And it comes down to utilizing existing IP or popular IP to insert whatever your message is stuff. That's a real problem. And this was one of the things that I think was revealed early on, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys are all very qualified in all of this lore. But this is one of the problems early on with Star Trek, where we learned directly from the showrunner that Star Trek was a platform. Excuse me, not Star Wars, Star Trek. Star Trek was a platform, right? Kurtzman said that in a conference call that we all were included in, that it is a platform, and will insert their message into it.
That's how they've been using. They've been using all of these things that way. You know, we heard the Disney writers say the same thing. Every time she gets a chance, she wants to shove in some gay, lesbian stuff in everything, regardless of what the story is. You know, so that's what they're in the practice of doing. They're pretty much just using all of this to further their own agendas, and that is where the offense is. You know, they're being disingenuous when they act like we don't understand this. If you just like flip the gender or a race here or there, maybe this wouldn't have been where it is today. But it's everywhere. That's the thing. And when it's everywhere, that tells me that it's a gimmick. It's exploitation. And it just so happens that you're exploiting, in part, my race, which is where the offense comes in for me, because I want authenticity. You know, I want something genuine, something honest. But all you people are doing is exploiting who I am and who other people are.
It's too hard to create something new, Mark. That's the problem. It's too hard. Let's just take something that already exists. I don't want to have to do the leg. I want to get all the credit for the blood, sweat, and tears that everyone else did by just doing a tiny thing, changing a race, changing a character, exploiting someone, and going, look how good I am.
And they all do it.
And
that's
they all do it.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and anyways. So in speaking to that, Tom, you want to continue? Oh, wait. Let me grab this real quick from Big Raj with a Canadian $1.99 thumbs up sticker. Thank you, my friend. That's awesome.
Big Raj. What's up, man?
Big Raj. Raj does that. That's his traditional thumbs up, baby. Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Tom. You're muted.
In attempting to strengthen her derision of each series, source material fans, the Star Trek Picard actress turned to point out how Disney's upcoming live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, as based on the eponymously named Danish fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, will star Halle Bailey as a race-swapped version of the fair-skinned princess. Well, y'all are going to lose your minds when you see the new Ariel, because you know, and I don't want to upset any mermaids who are watching the show, because I know there are many communities of mermaids of various colors, and when I say of various colors, I'm not playing.
Well, she's not wrong.
Winning comedian right there, folks.
Yeah, and people flipped out when they saw her, to the tune of like a massive ratio of over 500,000 negative.
Yeah, where is that trailer sitting by now?
The thing is, it's not even a good trailer. And I got into it with some people on Twitter about this, because the reality is it could have been done well. Like, I don't personally care if they make this fish person brown skinned.
Right.
But you could have done a better job of it, first of all, with her hair, with her look. It's too dark. She doesn't look like she's underwater. It's boring. I mean, it doesn't give you Ariel. It's just something completely different and degraded, which is what they tend to do whenever they do a race swap. I personally would have preferred if they had gone into African mythology, because there are mermaids there.
Yeah.
And use one of those stories for this. But no, we don't want to do that.
But Jane,
I thought all sea people were Aztec.
Well, she's... Yeah,
I don't get it. You fuckers are out there making a big old noise, but you didn't give a shit about the crab being Jamaican.
Wait, is Sebastian even in this? In the new one?
I don't know, but I know this. A, this is a very beautiful young lady. B, she has a very good voice.
She's a great singer.
Yeah, so I'm not even. She's 20 something. Okay, 22.
Yeah, she's
22, something like that.
Yeah, she's fine then. Yeah, I can say that.
But how they present her in this trailer is not as good as it could have been.
Yeah, and the problem is, again, is this was it's always predictable anytime you do this. And it always seems to happen with white redheads, but I'm going to set that aside. Anytime they do this,
ginger side is real.
I was going to say the ginger side.
It's insane, but Etep did research. Etep, you want to give everybody your research?
Yeah, 174,000 upvotes to 740,000 downvotes on the Walt Disney Studios official YouTube channel with 5,923,603 views.
So it's like 6-1.
Bots are at it again. God,
did I hear that right? So it's like a 6-1 ratio, Etep?
Yes, 6-1.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Look, comrades, I'll go get my Yushanka and put it on and say my Russian bots are at it again. We have single-handedly destroyed another trailer. Job well done. We will go celebrate with vodka and borscht. Vodka and borscht for everybody.
Success.
Wunderbar.
There are violet mermaids, there are pink mermaids, there are black mermaids, there are Latina mermaids, or Latinx, I should have said.
I was going to say that's
mermaids of
Latinx
every
mermaids.
ilk. I'm going to ignore the fact that this comes from a Danish fairy tale, because that's not important to you. It's only important when it happens to black culture, just so you know. That's the only time it's really important to me. And you know why there can be... Wait,
Well,
I'm
apparently
done.
not if she let her husband go around in blackface.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's an overall idiot.
Sam Malone. I was so disappointed in Sam Malone. I love Cheers.
And you know why there can be? Because it's a world that we would like to see better. That's not a reason. That's just an excuse.
And Borg mentioned something too. Her sisters, like her siblings, are different colors. You could have had Ariel be the exact same as she is depicted, like an honest portrayal. Had this girl cast as one of her sisters, have her perform outstandingly, and then give her a spinoff.
Yeah, they forgot that in the original film, all her sisters were very diverse.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're freaking fish.
And her husband, or her dad, I mean, sorry, was a big old slut who liked to fuck women mermaid ladies from all over the fucking world, evidently.
And that's why Ursula's upset with him.
He likes
They're mermaids. By the way,
lie.
Jane, they're mermaids. Stop calling them fish.
I have
That's
a problem.
so offensive.
It's
They're mermaids.
problematic.
Mermaids.
They're called
Miss,
people of
you're
wetness.
misspeciesing them.
We're going to call them mermex from now on, just to be safe.
Mermex.
No.
I think that would be the Tom. You're
That's the
absolutely right.
safest
That's
route.
the safe.
You-
That's
you
the
realize-
safest route we can do is Mermex.
You realize Paulie's going to come in here and give us a lecture if we use Mermex. We're in big trouble. So
Yeah, that ex boy.
I know he's out there.
The mermex
I thought X was going to give it to you. Apparently not.
gonna give it to you. Gonna give it.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Little wrestling for you. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Tom.
Sorry, now I've got bloody DMX stuck in my head.
I know. I love that, dude. I love that.
do.
But it's with the Thomas the Tank Engine. Background instead. I've been listening to that one lately. The X going to give it to you, but it's with the Thomas the Tank Engine. But,
It's so good. All right, sorry. Tom.
Slightly. One thing.
Sorry. Go ahead,
Slightly-
Jane. Go ahead,
Slightly
Jane.
off topic, but I
Yeah.
do wonder how they're going to play the feminist angle in this, because this story
Is very not.
is very anti that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if it's going to be the same. Is she going to be pining after a boy, or
She's going to go to Lesbian Island.
Mermaid
She's
is
going to go to
Hans
Lesbian Island, baby, just like Batwoman, Jane.
Mermaid's Hans Christian Andersen style, if I remember.
so also you've got a chick who's got a really good voice, and are they going to go the route where she's not going to be talking for half the movie? It kind of seems a bit weird.
Yeah, that's an odd flex, but okay.
Yeah, we're silencing a black woman in our movie. We're so diverse.
it's like in Princess and the Frog, where she was a frog the whole time. It is interesting which movies they choose.
Oh, Jane,
Make
I
what?
have so many questions for you about the Splash Mountain redo. We're gonna have to talk
Oh my
about it.
God.
sometime. You and I are gonna have to talk about that sometime. Oh, anyway, Tom, resume, por favor.
We would like to see as many people represented in fantasy. So all of you who have problems because there are black hobbits, get a job. Get a job, go find yourself because you're focused on the wrong stuff. Well, how can they have Amazon Prime if they don't have a job, Whoopi?
Good question.
She's a shit.
Get a job. That's the best she can do.
And mums are paying for it.
Yeah.
Get a
That's how
job
she views
now,
everyone.
get a job.
Get a job.
I'd like to get a job where I could be anti-Semitic and only get two-week paid vacation. That'd be nice.
Right.
Like
I want to
Whoopi.
say this. I want to say this. I think between me and Mark with a C and Tom, we should release an album. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be hot.
Yeah,
It'd be hot.
Yeah. And then we could do a calendar
You can call it Men to Men.
or
Whoa. Whoa. I don't know. I don't know
What do
how
you
I feel
think
about that
that's
one.
It's a working title. It's a working title.
Yeah.
man.
That's a little disturbing. But see, that's the old, stereotype of, like everyone who's into this culture, we have no lives, we have no jobs, we're just living in our mom's basement. You see how these people feel about us, and why should we take them seriously? Because this is how they feel. They resent us just simply because we know what the real deal is. We know the way this is really supposed to be. Why can't you people just shut up and let us hijack this and turn it into shit? Why can't you just be quiet? But we're not going to be quiet, so we got to be scum of the earth.
Well, but it's interesting, right? Because, when you looked at studies going back almost 30 years ago now, because I remember them because I was in my 20s in college when they came out, they were like, well, most everybody's going to be a complete mix of everything, and everybody's going to have similar skin tone, in the next 100 years. So why are they using this now? Why are they using this now when they know that it's this issue is definitely disappearing in less than 50 years?
In America, but
yes, but we are supposedly, despite all studies aside, globally, we are the most racist country, despite being the least racist country in the world.
I think part of it is them wanting to promote this victim mentality as part of their marketing strategy.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't, but for some reason they've convinced themselves.
I think it's reverse psychology. I just think that the more this happens, the more ignorant people get defiant about this. Like there are plenty of people out there who probably feel that Black people are the ones who are behind this. Black people are the ones who are asking for this. And it kind of sows the seeds of resentment in people who are more ignorant. And then on the other side, you have Black people who get upset. Well, why can't we be mermaids? Well, why can't we be Black Superman? Why can't we be hobbits? You know what I mean? So it's like on both sides, when you appeal to the ignorance and the insecurities of people, then you do have that separation. So in a way, it's kind of sabotaging that natural blending, because there are some people who are just getting more defiant.
Here's the problem.
It's gaslighting.
But this is the problem, and we see it in the Rings of Power. And I made a post about it on Twitter a little while ago. The majority of their cast of quote unquote people of color, who everybody's referring to as Black, are literally predominantly not. So you're already seeing it. Either they're running out of Black people, or they're specifically choosing people who are closer to them anyway. So it doesn't, and yet at the same time, they're using this, oh, y'all hate Black people thing. How can you continue to use that narrative?
It doesn't work.
When your cast, out of all of them, there's only one Black man in the entire show. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they're still trying to act like it's this big deal. That's the thing. And it's no different than any of the other stuff we've pointed out before. Nobody had ever had an issue with Lord of the Rings before this, right? Unlike, certain things that were said about Star Wars when it originally came out. And George Lucas is like, yeah, I didn't notice. I didn't really put any Black people. Oops. Well, that was because he filmed the goddamn thing in the UK. Right. And shit like that. So there's various reasons for that have nothing to do with race, but he tried to make up for that in later films. But in that, he also didn't turn around and virtue signal on that, though, right? There's the difference. He just tried to make it right. And in this case, we've seen that time and time again, where if there is a case where, oh yeah, maybe they should add a little bit more diversity to the cast. They've done it in future episodes and movies, right? It has happened in the past, and at least they've tried to do it a little bit more natural. Nowadays, it's just they just shove it in there and they act like they're changing the world because of it. It's like, no, you're not really. In fact, you're doing an injustice in a lot of ways.
Well, I think there was a tendency back in the day to create something that appealed to human beings, to tell a timeless human story. So it was easy to overlook races and genders and stuff like that when you're really trying to tell a story that gets to the heart of your audience. And those people who can relate to it, who can relate to those characters, that's where your fan base is going to come in. So in Star Wars, I came in, so many other people came in who were diverse. People from all around the world loved it and never thought twice about, Do I see myself here? Because we got swept up in the grand, epic, beautiful story, you know. And then when you go back and start checking boxes and stuff, that takes the place of your imagination. Like the story starts to suffer, you know, if you're not careful, if that's what your, you know, objective is.
But that's the thing about
Oh, I'm sorry. Just real quickly. So the very first black superhero in any major comic book ever was T'Challa, right?
Technically, yes. There
yeah,
was
that
other
goes-
black characters before that.
Right, but
yeah.
I mean, we're talking major,
as far as leading their own comic, I believe.
Yeah,
Even though I
yeah.
think there was a
19,
lesser known character before that never gets noticed, but I can't remember the character.
right, but
See, that's the problem.
1966, T'Challa rolls in there as the Black Panther, right? Then you have, and we're just going to go through these. Then you have the Falcon, one of my favorite characters ever, because Captain America and the Falcon, I can't even tell you how many of those books I just held close to my heart. Then that's back in, again, 69, the year before I was born. 72, we had Luke Cage, who was freaking awesome, added to the amazing Hell's Kitchen repertoire of superheroes. And then you had Blade, which showed up in 73, right? Again, another one of my favorites. Storm in 1975 joined, well, the X-Men as just the first female black superhero. Right. Then you had Green Lantern, John Stewart in 71. Right. You had I'm going to go down this list. Black Lightning was 77. Another one of my favorites. Cyborg in 1980. And we keep going. And it's like you're, and I know we're conflating one with the other, one thing with the other.
No, but one important thing you said, Culture, is a lot of this shit was before you were born. It was also before I was born, before a lot of these people were born. This is nothing new that they're bringing to the table. In fact, I never even thought about this shit. It was weird until recently when a lot of these things happened in the last few years. Growing up, I wanted to be Eddie Murphy, right? I didn't see a problem with that. I didn't understand why that was an issue. Like, I don't get it. To me, Eddie Murphy was just as important in my life as Jim Carrey, as, whatever, Tupac was just as important to me as Meatloaf, right? Like, it didn't matter to me what color their fucking skin was. It just mattered to me what they were saying and what they were doing.
But it's a problem when they start trying to categorize people, like Tolkien, for example. You have people saying, oh, he was a product of his time, or accusing him of being racist, when they don't even know what they're talking about. This was a man who was openly the true anti-racist. He hated everything about the concept of Aryanism or racial superiority. He was publicly against what was happening with apartheid, what was happening with the Jews in Germany.
Right.
He was as far from racist as you could get, probably for any one of his time period. And you talk about George just forgetting that there were black people in the world. I think he was just writing characters that he knew that came to his mind. Tolkien, on the other hand, created a whole world in which there are the same kinds of people in his world that are in our world. They're just in geographic locations.
Right. Well, and to be fair, I don't mean
that there are other people. He was ahead of his time, and people aren't giving him credit for it. And that's part of what's really picking me off about this show.
He's white and religious, Jane, so we can't have that in history.
Well, and my point with George wasn't so much that he forgot. It was just a matter of, where he filmed the movie at the time. I'm sure if he'd have filmed it in the United States and he had a bunch of other choices, we would have seen a much diverse cast. The point was the first film being so white was more of a fact of the matter of where it was filmed than anything.
Because he wrote it before he cast it. So
and I don't think he really cared at that point. I don't think that's what I meant more so than anything. It was just a matter of, so they want this character or they want characters that are not just white. Oh, I should have noticed this before. It was just a matter of overlooking. I don't think it was even that he didn't care so much, or just a legitimate, obviously he didn't do it on purpose is what I'm trying to say. But
nobody cared back then, though.
Nobody cared about it. I don't think it was an issue.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a non-issue until somebody else made it an issue.
But I think that people just don't give people like Tolkien, who made a point of his stories not being overtly. Even the funny thing is, you can see the anti-racism in the narrative of the story. You do have different races in conflict and different races coming together, getting past those conflicts, getting past the stereotypes. Because that comes up a lot too. Gandalf is constantly, putting down the stereotypes with each race that they have of each other.
Yeah.
And he's saying, look past these stereotypes. See these people as your friends, as your brothers, as your allies, and let's go defeat the actual evil in the world.
Well,
and no one is seeing that underlying story
Not
because
only
they're
that,
so
he
obsessed with the
acknowledges
superficial.
Gene,
he
it's
acknowledges their strengths too.
And exactly, Tom. The Lord of the Rings, right? It's a story of brotherhood and sisterhood. If you need those words thrown in there together, it's fine. But it's a story about unity, bringing people together against a common evil. Right now, this is the one thing that I can agree with Bill Maher on from the other day, and Midnight's Edge is going to be doing a video on this because he was ignorant as F the other day on Top Gun. But anyway, we're really good about uniting against a common enemy. That terrifies the people who are trying to divide us all the time using these elements, right? Using race, financial, levels of success. So they like to conflate with the word equity and shit like that. And that's where we're at. The story of the Lord of the Rings is about coming together. And you're right, Jane. Gandalf is bringing all of these people together, and other factors are bringing all these people together. But
somebody
what
would
we
say
do.
it's a fellowship.
I just point out the fact that you see him like confronting people who are making racist comments in the story. Like when the dwarves are making racist comments about the hobbits, he's like, no, you're wrong. They have all these other qualities that you're not seeing.
And it comes together. What's the line between Legolas and oh my gosh, the dwarf name just
you're talking
Gimli. Gimli. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're and like I'm dying, I get to die with a friend. It's like that's important. And you have the same kind of situation happen in Game of Thrones, right? This is why I think George R.R. Martin is discount Tolkien. But it's that same moment right there when we were in one of the worst seasons of Game of Thrones ever, season 8, where they're on the point of expiring and people are coming to grips with that. And it's an emotional thing because these are characters you care about, but you care about them because they've come together and they despite their differences, despite the things that are fundamentally different about them, they've unified. And that's the thing. It's one of the reasons why I think the best thing we ever did was renaming what we do as the Fellowship, because no matter what you believe, even if you don't agree with everybody that's involved in what we do, we've come together for a common purpose, right? And sometimes people say ignorant stuff. We're going to always run into that, even people that are amongst us. But at the same time, it's a form of unity, right? And that's the thing they fear, as all of us rising up, like the 700,000 people that really did not enjoy the Little Mermaid trailer, telling Disney, eat a bag of dicks.
It's a lie. They're telling a big lie. Tomorrow is 9/11, okay, in here in America. And that was a perfect example of how humanity comes together, all right, pulls together. I had family that were in those buildings that day. Man. You know what I'm saying? My mom worked across the street from there when those buildings came down. And, and of course my brother went down there, as a first responder. And this is how we pulled together, and since then we elected a black president twice in this country. Okay. Yep. But these people would have us believe that we are so full of hate that we can just on the face of it, we just can't stand to see black characters on a fantasy show. Like, how much bullshit is that when you really consider the scope of where we've come, of how far we've come in this country? All right. It hasn't always been beautiful, but there has been undeniable progression. And they want to act like that's just never happened. We're just that petty. Barack and Michelle just went to the White House the other day to see their portraits. Yeah, and everything like that. Nobody was standing outside screaming all types of racist slurs and stuff like that. These people are lying. They're lying.
Well,
and the scary thing is, I'm sorry. Go on, Tom.
No. You weren't done. My bad.
Mark is, dude. Mark, you're saying something very impassioned.
You're lying. Yeah, go ahead. Finish. My bad.
Yeah, no. I just said the scary thing is you have people out there who are co-signing this. Who come into each of our comment sections wanting to argue about this, and like what Whoopi Goldberg is saying. This is despicable because here she is reaching the masses, telling a lie. She knows that she's lying. So why would you be doing this? You know, these people are mischief makers.
That's you know what? That's exactly right.
Well, what I was going to say is going off of what Jane had said earlier, 9 times out of 10, they're only able to muster up like 3 or 4 comments. And most of them usually like maybe 1 or 2 you could really point and go, yeah, that's fucking racist. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and in that case, like, and I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is instead, like, they're not looking at it from perspective of if you're only getting 3 or 4 of those comments compared to what somebody would have gotten 40, 50 years ago, that ain't shit.
Yeah. More this
You're doing good.
You're doing pretty good. I mean, that's only 4 idiots out of the bunch.
But that's it, man. I like I said, on all this stuff and all these like these CBR comment sections I go into on Facebook, and like take like shows like not even like this, but like She-Hulk, for example. I'll be like, bad writing, bad writing written by people who admitted they don't know how to do their job. The show's bad. It's aimless. I'm like, it's literally, there's nothing to it. It's hollow. And then it's, oh, you're afraid of women. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. And I'm like, I'm talking about writing, like, and that's the thing. And these people, those types of people, they're ne'er-do-wells, and they will take any little thing and conflate it to something else using their mental gymnastics that people like Simone Biles couldn't even perform this level of gymnastics, because these people are so deranged that they will take the smallest thing and they blow it up, and then it's this huge issue. They're non-traversies is what we're dealing with, and it's facilitated by people who have been gaslighted for so long that they will literally slurp up anything, and you have to look at where it's coming from. Like you said, culture. You said Amazon, run by pretty much predominantly white people, and I'm guessing I can say where their leanings come from. So who is the biggest purveyor of gaslighting when it comes to the divisiveness of the races? That's all I'm gonna say right there. I can just stop at that, because I can go much deeper into that, but for the sake of the format, I will not. But yeah, that's what gets me is I get called a Yahtzee, but you got people who are literally using race as a shield from criticism, where the criticism wasn't even directed at the race. It was it's ridiculous.
And that's their whole Mark. It's told he's not black. Like, I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah. Listening to him talk, I feel like what's his name? Emilio Estevez in Young Guns, when Charlie was shooting out the window. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, Charlie.
Well, dude, I said, I get called a Nazi. I'm like, I'm Jewish. What are you talking? I'm not. I'm like, I literally cannot be a Nazi. Jesus. I'm like, literally. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, can they open up their membership or something? Or
on that note, and I'm glad you brought up, Billy the Kid and shit, because, like, yeah, we are kind of like the Old West in that way. We police ourselves. Even if we do see dumbassery, we call it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to allow somebody to be so stupid. Like, we see some dumbass on Twitter, even if they are somebody who's in our group, we'll let them know, hey, you're being a moron, knock it off. Or even if somebody we know personally, we'll even take them aside and personally go, hey, by the way, that was just a little over the line. Might want to take it back a little bit. I'm constantly getting told that.
Either way. If I go over the line, I want somebody to check me. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, look, y'all are my friends. You're my friends for a reason. I picked you, right? We don't always agree, but I picked you. You don't get to pick your family, but I get to pick my friends. My friends, I expect to be difficult, hard. I expect them to check me. If the best friends that you have are the ones that always challenge you, right? Those are the people that not only are they going to challenge you, but they're always going to have your back. And that is more valuable than you could even imagine. And you know what? That's the unification of humanity, and that's important. And that scares anybody who's trying to dominate you, anybody who's trying to manipulate you. It scares them. When you question them and you have the weight of everybody else behind that, that's important. I'm not sure what MBB4L is, but that's cool. What's up with that? I didn't do that.
Oh, it's the feds.
Here's the thing, too, though.
No, you don't even know where
You do have Hollywood pushing a lot of this stuff, and for reasons, they have their reasons we talked about. But I also need for Black people to stop. Demand better. Demand more from Hollywood. You are a customer, too. And you shouldn't just accept this crap just because it's a black face on the screen. You should never, nobody should ever be that desperate to quote unquote see themselves that you're willing to accept subpar value in exchange for it. Because that's the part of the problem here. And that's why they're so shocked when they do see some of us speak out against it. They don't know what to do. They start being outwardly, overtly racist toward us because how dare a black person come out and speak on this? We're trying to help you. We've done so much for you people. That's their reaction to it. But if more and more black people voice their demands about better quality work from Hollywood, better stories that actually reflect our cultural backgrounds, then maybe they would finally get a hint.
Gene, I have a question. Because I have some objections to the following thing I'm going to ask you. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. See, I'm offering criticism here, or I'm offering to be criticized, I should say. Have you seen the trailer for the Woman King?
I have.
Are you familiar with the history there?
Yeah.
What's your perspective? And then I'm going to ask Mark the same thing.
My only issue, first of all, I love the idea. I love the fact that they're finally discovering that there are stories in Africa that they could adapt to film. My only concern is that they are, one, they're still stuffing it into their own agenda and using it as a platform, because you can see the feminist narrative overshadowing the actual story. So some of the inaccuracies in it are a problem for me. And that is something I'm struggling with because I love the idea of it. And this was a very important group that everybody, for years have really respected. And we immediately identified them in Black Panther, who the Dora Milaje were based on. But the feminist narrative is so troubling to me. And the fact that they're using this story to promote that message is a serious problem. And you also see the fact that they're we talk a lot about Black token characters and stuff, but they have the token white people in this. Like, you didn't have to have any of that. It could have just been Black people on screen, but they're not doing that either. So it's
because of the French, you're saying?
Yeah, it's like you couldn't just. I mean, these people existed, this group, for hundreds of years before white people even knew they existed, right?
Yeah.
But they don't trust. They don't have any faith in the fans, I feel, and they're projecting a lot of their racism on the world instead of just telling these good stories and letting them speak for themselves. They have to have their agenda in there.
That's the biggest problem. Like you take it completely, you take the character, like a white character, completely out of that, and it would work. We had Parasite, which was a completely Asian film.
Oh yeah,
so
Korean.
There is a thirst for genuine, and as for someone who this culture has nothing to do with me, I'd love to see that.
Well, you know what? Let's step to Chris Gore's favorite film of the year, RRR, and talk about the fact that we're invested in Indian cinema now.
There were some white people in that one.
Well, here's.
Can I just say before we move away from
Mark
Woman King?
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
I just want to rightfully point out that is an oxymoron. By the way, there is no such thing as a woman king.
That's true.
All right. So they kind of lost me at that. I mean, apparently this is based on a real thing, a real story, real history, and that's respectable. But they started off with an insult.
Yep.
And I've talked on my channel plenty of times about how much I really resent that thing that they do in the Black community where it's Happy Father's Day, Mom, where they have a Hallmark, released a whole line of cards that's dedicated to Black single mothers, where they'll celebrate them on Father's Day. Now, as a single father, I don't like that at all. I feel like that's the ultimate slap in the face. And, this woman king thing is just furthering that. You could tell your story without doing that. You could be honest, without doing that. But right from the gate, they go for the insult.
And it's also insulting the Black women because you're masculinizing these people who were really, their status was as wives of the king. That's what they were considered. It was a place of honor. They were also physically fit. They were great warriors, but they're also women. And that's something they should be given credit for.
Beautiful. Yep.
I just a question, and I've noticed this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one here, but I mean, since we're on the topic, and Mark, you made the comment about the cards for single Black mothers is celebrating Father's Day. Hollywood has gone out of their way to emasculate black men. They have. I see that in roles. I mean, you look at the types of roles and the way they treat certain black male characters, and it just seems to me it's like they go out of their way to make them like the quirky gay friend. And you know what I'm saying, in these movies and stuff like that, and TV shows. Like I watched Batwoman, suffered through it, and it's like the black male characters in that show. I mean, it's a poorly written show, but it's a good example. I'm saying we're all weak. They made them weak purposely, and they've done that in certain. In all these shows, you see it, and it's like it just goes along. And like I said, who's behind this? Who stands to benefit from this, and why exactly?
At the very beginning, Etep, you know, at the very beginning, this was in one of your review videos because I was like not going to step into that show at all. Ruby Rose, you know, it goes down to her just tearing down Lucius the entire time. Lucas, excuse me, not Lucius.
Oh, Lucas.
Yeah,
Luke Fox,
Little
Luke
Fox. Yeah, Lucas.
Cuck Fox as I like to call him.
Her name's Lucy.
Lucius.
No, it's
dad.
Lucius.
Yeah,
Lucius.
So, but I was so uncomfortable with that, and it just every episode it got worse. And I'm watching you do the reviews, right? Because I'm not going to watch that show. No, thank you.
I have a high tolerance for pain.
You and Az get mad props because otherwise, dude, I'm bouncing my head off the desk on enough stuff. I didn't want to do that to that show too. But I'm like, why are they tearing down a black man? A smart guy.
Everyone. They made him Batwing, and then they're like, let's reel it down a little bit. We don't want you acting like an alpha male. God no, please no.
That was the problem there. It was too much manliness, right? Because black men were after white men. Now they're going after gay men because they're not open enough, right? Like that's the next rung. Like it just keeps moving along, and it's just going to keep going and going and going. And I'm so glad that Jane brought up a point a little bit before, not to backtrack too far, but it's something that I've been saying since like the days of Discovery first premiering and stuff like that is nothing is going to change until people stand up and say, look, I'm not going to be your circus freak. I'm not going to let you use me to virtue signal and sell your show on the idea that you're doing better for a certain people, whether it's black people, LGBTQ, or, you know, disabled, whatever it is that you're using for your platform to try and sell it to other people. Enough's enough. And it's not going to change until people start standing up in those communities and saying enough's enough. And it's going to be tough. You're going to have people that are going to get pushed back. And, you know, as we've said before, the first time anybody says anything, the true colors start to fly. I mean, you don't even have to go farther than, you know, recently when you had that whole RVW thing happen in the one conservative, what is he, a senator or whichever he was that was a part of the vote, and he's conservative, so he was called every N-word in the book.
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas, thank you.
You're talking about probably the smartest justice on the Supreme Court in our generation.
That's what it was.
The best, I would say the best legal mind. Yeah,
I knew what I meant.
No. I got you.
Better. Scalia was much better.
You think Scalia's?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The point I was making, though, is it just the true colors fly as soon as somebody doesn't agree with them, right? That was another point that we had made here on the panel here, and I'm just glad that things are starting to change a little bit, and that's the things that it's gonna take to make some changes.
I just had some guy telling me off big time, you know, in my comment section, because I dared to say that black people can achieve, you know, black people can have their, you know, their own thing and their own characters and everything. And what is it going to take before we stop identifying with victims? Don't you ever in your life blame the victim. You know, this guy just went in on me, and I'm like, bro, that might work for you to live your life that way, but I'm trying to raise my son to be a man, not a victim, you know? And unfortunately, I spent too much of my life, you know, having that programmed into me when I was a child. There comes a time when you got to stop, you know, like what Jane is saying. It's like, you got to hold these people more accountable for what they're giving us, and stop just taking any crumb that falls off the table. Understand that you're better than that, you know, but that becomes a big argument with people for some reason. What, I'm wrong for telling you should believe in yourself?
Well, what they'll come back with is, well, if we don't accept this, then we're not going to get anything. Well, I would prefer nothing.
You're right, Jane and Mark. I'm glad to hear that, because that's the whole point that needs to be made. Instead of us, the fans, being pointed at and saying, well, what's wrong with you? They should be turning the fingers back around to the writers and directors and creators behind this thing and saying, what is wrong with you for giving me such a shit character?
Exactly.
Right? That's where the fingers need to be pointed. And you're right, Jane. They should just start saying no. I mean,
like Resident Evil. I mean, that was, God, that was a complete travesty. Look what they did to those girls. And then their show got canceled. But you're mad at the fans? You should be mad at the network.
I didn't even realize I didn't even realize that was Ella Balinska playing Jane. I'm like, she's gorgeous. I'm like, what did they do to her? Because she was in that shite Charlie's Angels remake that Elizabeth Banks regurgitated out a couple of years ago that I sat through.
Oh my God! They roast Tico beautiful women all the time.
Yes. Yes, it's like, let's dumb him down. Yeah, and the actor that played Wesker, I've seen him in, like, I loved him in Lost. The guy's been in he's
Lance Riddick.
Lance Riddick, yes, great actor, and it's like, what did you do to him? Like, why would you waste this? You waste this talent on this shit role,
right? That's a big problem too, because they'll dumb down the way like women look. Because God forbid some fat ugly bitch feels less of herself because she sees somebody on screen who looks better. No, men aren't like that. You want to know why? We see somebody like fucking Schwarzenegger or Chris Pratt or whatever, and we're like, God damn, I need to work out. We aspire to be more like that instead of going to the fucking freezer and grabbing some goddamn ice cream and trying to act like a fucking victim because you ate too much ice cream before that. I'm sorry. As a fat kid, I can say that.
How do you know I'm eating ice cream? What the hell?
I did eat too much ice cream earlier. Tom, fuck you.
Put the ice cream down, Grant.
They don't want the male
I would rather
gaze.
see more. I would rather see more magazines with Jane Theory on the cover by far than Lizzo. You know what I'm saying? This is the crazy world. This is the crazy world that we live in. You got an intelligent, beautiful young lady like Jane Theory who comes along and says all of these things that she's saying and makes so much sense, that people should be hearing. But what do we have? What are we giving to our daughters out here? We're giving them Lizzo when Black women die like disproportionately more than so many other people of diabetes, heart disease, and all of this stuff. You can be fat and beautiful if you want to, but it is unhealthy. You know what I mean? But they won't tell people this. They lie to them.
And for the very few of us that have seen Jane is very smart. We all know why, but she is gorgeous. So yeah,
yes, she is.
He's more than her.
Yep.
And I'm not objectifying you. The boss is in the other room. I'm safe. Okay, so she's okay with.
Well, allow me to objectify Jane.
Drunk told me all about it.
Oh Lord.
Look, let's do this. Let's try and put a bow on this. So, what are your thoughts here? Because Whoopi really stepped in it. Do you think that she shook any trees? Did she change people's minds? Did what she do anything other than decrease our appreciation of her intelligence and her analytical powers, or did she actually like convince people that there's a bunch of racists that don't like these programs?
I think that there's a lot of people out there who believe what they want to believe. Like, we've always been, a pretty, tight-knit group who believe in the things that we believe in and appreciate the things that we appreciate. The problem is they wanted to open it up for mass consumption for everybody, but the fandom has always been, that little group, that true group, of geeks or whatever you want to call it, who believe in what we believe in. So these people on the outside, they love it. They love to hear this type of thing, because they never understood us to begin with. That's the reason why I don't apologize for offending these people. Mm-mm. Get out. You never belonged here. Don't tell me I'm welcome. You're the one who's not welcome. You never belonged here in the first place. As a Black person, you're all welcome here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need to hear that from you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked for that from you.
Right.
We always knew that we belonged here because we've always been here. You're the visitors.
Mark, when you stepped into a comic shop, I'm just going to ask, because this is an important question. Did you ever feel like you didn't belong there? Did you ever feel like you didn't belong there?
Bro, even if from sometimes you might stay, it depends on where you are. You know what I mean? Even if you step in there and at first you're kind of like, when you ask for what you're looking for, when you start talking about things, usually that's it, man. It's like being in an exclusive club. All of a sudden, we're talking about the history of certain characters, certain titles and things like that, and it's like family. As long as we know we're all part of it, we're all authentic. If you walk in there,
just like Olive Garden.
There you go. We're all family. But that's what it is.
I don't get that reference. We don't have them here. What am I missing? Olive Garden.
You know what it is.
Yeah. So Whoopi just said what all of those outsiders think of us anyway. Get a job and grow up, and it's all make believe. Yada yada yada. We've always heard that. We have always known that what we get into is an escape. Of course, if you're escaping from something, you realize on the other side of it is reality. We all know that. When we were growing up, if you had an abusive home life or something like that, you found refuge in The Hobbit or Star Wars or Star Trek. It took your mind away. These people don't understand that type of passion, and I feel sad for them. But at the same time, get the hell out of our stuff.
Yeah. I agree with
Isn't
that.
it ironic that the people telling us to quit playing pretend and get a job actually have a job playing pretend?
Yeah. Well, and for the three bald guys on the stream, did you guys ever feel out of place in a comic shop? Sorry.
I was in a comic shop today, actually. I was out buying vintage, kind of like I said, it was my anniversary today, so I took the wife and kid and we went to a comic shop with vintage toys and was buying Star Wars action figures and comic books. That's what we did this afternoon.
Did you just
it's the one thing that wives love is that I can tell from experience. It's true.
Did you just tell everybody how special today was for you, Etep? Did you? You probably should.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my 11th wedding anniversary today to my lovely wife, Mrs. Place to Be Reviews, who is probably still upstairs
clapping
watching the Two Towers with my son right now, because after she sat through the Rings of Power with me, she was like, I no.
Extended edition or theatrical?
I'm not sure, whichever one is on the streaming service she's watching it on. I think it would just be the
theatrical. Then
it's probably just the theatrical. I want to buy the extended versions of it, but yeah. So that's like Whoopi Goldberg as a member I can say is the official delegate of the Jewish community. We would like to trade Whoopi Goldberg back to the black delegation. I don't know.
No.
We would like to trade her back. No trade.
We'll take Eddie Murphy in return.
We'll take Eddie Murphy in return.
We were talking about comic book shops, right? It's like when I was a kid, I collected the old Star Trek comics. They were reprints when I got them, but from the 60s, Gold Key and all that stuff. And I remember, my pops, he threw them out. I talked about that. He did stuff like that.
You broke my heart.
It set me on a course for my entire life, trying to find these things again. And I went to comic book shops, online shops, everything, and it was great because all of the guys who were in there, they understood my passion. They understood what was going on. And, finally I was able to track them down. These are just,
nice.
These are just three of them. These are amazing, bro. When I found these, I shit you not,
yeah.
I cried tears. Cried tears because this dude, he just like destroyed all of it. You know what I mean? So I have them back now. You know what I mean? Like these things are great, man.
Oh, those are beautiful,
awesome.
Man. I love that. I love that. That is a great moment. There it is. This is a beautiful moment, dude. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna do this because we have a lady present. Yeah, we do. Jane, have you ever felt out of place at a comic store?
No, I've never felt out of place anywhere though. But I didn't grow up with that sort of weird victim mentality thing. So it was never even an issue for me. So I guess if somebody tried to make me feel uncomfortable, they would have to try really hard.
They'd have to try. And that's a weird place to be. But I do want to say this. You have an admirer in the chat there, Jane. Jin Wong says, Jane cosplay calendar when? Watch out, that Star Wars girl.
It would be irresponsible if I didn't point out too, because I've listened to you, Jane, when you talk about how you were brought up. See, this is the result of having a good support system around you that's generational, that understands the importance of being generational.
Yes.
Usually excellence comes from that.
Yeah,
always. When you do support your children, and you give them positive reinforcement, you let them know that the sky's the limit. Don't be a victim. Now she didn't have to overcome that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like too many of us spend too much time in our lives having to overcome that. I talk the way that I talk because I spent too much time in my life having to overcome that. I look at pictures of me when I was a child and I'm like, kid, if only you had known what I know now. I wish that someone had hugged you and just told you that you should be here, and that why should you have to go through these obstacles? Not in the world. People talk about white supremacy. That's bullshit compared to what you go through before you even walk outside your door.
Exactly.
That's where the hypocrisy comes from.
That's what shaped you into the art today as well. So it's a double-edged sword sort of thing. Like, you don't want someone to go through that, but the way in which that you are now, and how you present yourself, and and everything that you've gone through, and he's turned you into the person that I consider one of my close friends. And like, it's, as I said, like, I understand what you're saying about wishing that, but if that changed, you might not be the person that you are today. I look at that experience and everything that you've gone through as, it's the pressure that created the diamond that I see in front of me.
Indeed. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to add this because
that was
this is
beautiful, man.
Yeah, I know.
I love you, man.
Sometimes.
One quick point to follow what Mark was saying too. I think you're right. What's so weird about sometimes what we see in the Black community is the adoption of a lot of the sort of racism that the older generations have had to deal with, that they will perpetuate within the community. And that's something that really needs to be pulled back. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to get there, but more conversations like this, I think, do help.
Family, I'm going to say this, and then we'll move on to the next one because it's going to be a party. Family can be your greatest asset. It can be the thing, especially a close familial unit, something that's strong, that is that support system. That can be the most integral point in your life. It can be the most important thing in your life, or it can be your detriment. Because I've seen both sides of that. I've seen people suffer under the weight of family that have given them some prejudice, that has given them the things that you just described, Jane. That it becomes a weight, an anchor, and it takes a lot to sometimes to overcome. But at the same time, in most cases, at least in people that I've seen that are just incredibly well adjusted and people that I admire greatly, and they're in fact, everybody on the stream probably represents that. It shows. I'm just saying it, either because family helped you get there or because you overcame the burden of it. And unfortunately, I don't think people recognize that. Family should always be the most important thing to you in order to reinforce the future. Because if you do that, you can bring every other future family that's related to you up in a positive way. And I think that a lot of people have abandoned that for a long, long time.
Family history too is really important too. Understanding, where you come from and how much you have actually overcome in your own family.
Yeah,
I know that's why reunions are so important. In our family, we would get together, and the conversation, even when we're talking about the past 100 years ago, was always about those individuals who were successful, who were achieving, who were protecting their families. Like, you have some people who will talk about, oh, the Klan did this and they did that, and we were so terrified and horrified. And yeah, that happened. But in my family, they talked about how they armed themselves and defended their families. And in some cases, got vengeance in defense of their families. So, I mean, it's all about where you position yourself too, and understanding that not everybody was a victim. Some people fought back. Some people stood their ground.
Exactly. And that's what I love about that. In fact, you just said something that I think most people ignore: the opportunity to get together within like multiple generations, reach backwards in time, find out where you came from. Indeed. I think not enough people take advantage of that. If you get an opportunity to go back and talk to a grandparent, if they're still with you, by the way, take a tape recorder Take a phone, whatever. Hit the record button. Listen to them. Ask questions. Find
I
out.
did the same thing with my great grandfather. He was born in, and he grew up in my household when till I was about 10 years old, and then he moved out. So I got to hear what it was like when he was a child and different things, and his experience in the war and everything. So it's definitely a really unique and cool thing to be able to do it. It's essentially like time traveling through stories, because you know it's real because they're and it was so beneficial in the way in which that I grew up. So technically I can blame my pop for that, the way I am.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I just feel like that between that story, what Jane said, and everything else, I mean, you actually get a lot of humor from it too, like to realize just how different times are when your grandfather or your great grandfather and your great uncles were out goofing about and doing stuff there's no freaking way you'd get away with now.
You have people like some of my ancestors who fought in the Civil War.
Yeah,
would leave. Like they would just in their in the applications, you would have these narratives of sort of what their experience was, or if their wives are applying, they'll talk about what was happening, and they would just get tired of fighting and sleeping on the ground and all this stuff. They miss home, they miss their wives, they miss home cooked meals, and would just leave because the war they fought was in Mississippi. They would cross the Mississippi and come back to Louisiana and chill, and then go back and fight.
Yeah. And that's not an uncommon narrative, especially in that particular war. But it's amazing. Narratively, you learn a lot of stuff if you have that contact with history. But that's a familial bond. Even though you'll never meet those people, they are the reason you're where you're at. And that's a reason to understand the story. But we're gonna move on. I'm gonna say this: we have somebody sharing a lot of great information. Naya's in the chat talking about themselves, and that's really cool. Yeah, and this is a weird thing. Nerd culture has gone mainstream, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's to our detriment, right? Because now that everybody spills over because they made something popular that was not necessarily mainstream. Maybe that didn't help out the situation, but they had to try to grab the most amount of people. And this is one of the ways to do it, is entertainment. Jin Wong points out for an Australian $2, thank you, my friend, that Vin Diesel showed up in a tank top and he approves of this conversation. So I bet he did. Indeed.
Did he say family? He said family.
Yeah, well, I think we all said family a bunch. But speaking of family, here's somebody that has family with Mr. Weinstein. Not Mr. Brownstone, but he's been dancing with.
I was going to start singing Guns N' Roses too. Thanks. We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. He's been knocking. He won't leave me alone. No.
Speaking of leaving it alone, have you seen her comments on that, by the way? He never touched me. I never did nothing. Well, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I did a whole video on that. I did a whole video on this, man. Whoa. I have a clip. Culture. It's like 40 seconds long, copyright free. If you don't mind,
if there's no copyright, you got it.
No, it's gonna sum up this love story between Jennifer Lawrence and Harvey Weinstein and Tucker Carlson pretty well, I think.
It out.
Let me share this.
That's an interesting threesome.
I released this. I released this the other day. Nobody watched it, so I'll share it with you guys now.
Nobody watched it.
I'll share it with you guys now. Hang on. Right. Here it is right here. I make videos for nobody. So here we go. Right here.
I watch a lot of your stuff. Crazy.
This is the love story. All right.
I'm bringing it in. You show us the love chat.
Would ever get me to hate is with death threats, and it's taking forever. That would be bad. But it's the next one.
Do you want to talk about the actual Not My President's Day protest, or are we just going to go off on a tangent on...
Again, I just want to congratulate Harvey. Harvey gave us just what we needed, another him.
Is it better than I do?
Sometimes I call him Jennifer. It's a pet name.
Sometimes I call him Jennifer. It's a
pet name. There you go. Wow. There you go. There's a quick look at their love story.
I felt like I was watching something on all of the acid.
She has nightmares about Tucker, and she slept with Harvey. I mean, let's be honest here. You know, let's be honest, sweetheart. Harvey Weinstein is a piece of garbage. I'm not co-signing to anything. This guy's garbage. But Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, she's kind of fading from relevance. I mean, she's still making good movies, right? She's still making money. Her net worth is $160 million. She's complaining about getting paid less than Leonardo DiCaprio, who's been acting for, 30 years?
And dies in all
pretty
of
much
his movies.
since before she was born.
It was
listen, guys.
She also said Florida.
I am going to have to run. All right, I just heard from my son. I thought he told me millions of times he was going to get a ride back from the carnival, but now he's talking about, Dad, I need you to pick me up. I'm like,
no, that's a good thing. If he's telling you that, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So let me go and get this kid. But, much love to everybody out there. Just rock on, do what you do. And remember, like I said, tomorrow's 9/11, okay? We're supposed to be united in this world. We're supposed to be together. Stop letting these fools divide us, because that's what this is all about. That's what they want. And don't let them win. We learned something from history. All right?
And Mark, dude, thanks for being here. Appreciate you, man. Love you. And go get that kid, dude. Go get that kid.
Great night, Mark.
Bye.
Love you, man. All right, we're back at it. We're going to talk about the story that we have up on the screen. Everybody, go check out Mark, dude. Mark's so great. His channel's awesome. He's growing like a weed. He deserves it. He's a good friend, and I cannot wait to meet him in Orlando. And I hope Jane, can you crawl to Orlando, please?
We shall see.
All right, okay. Because I cannot wait. You guys don't even know. The Boston area are going to be there. I'm going to put my arms around as many people as I possibly can.
With consent.
Well, you know what? Who doesn't consent to me? I mean, I'm handsome, but and it got great hair. So, but anyway.
Down like Weinstein again.
Ah, shit. All right. Anyway. All right. So here we go. Jennifer Lawrence complains about $25 million. Don't look up Payday because Leonardo DiCaprio made more.
Right there is why movies cost so motherfucking much to make right now.
That's right.
Because if she made 25 million and let's say he made 30, that's over $50 million just on two fucking actors in one fucking movie.
Too much money. Speaking of too much money, everybody associated with anything in Netflix when it comes to movie stars being in a television straight to streaming thing, way too much money there. I don't know how Netflix gets away with paying everybody.
That's way too much money. I mean, Leo can afford to ask for that kind of money. Sure, they could have said no.
Yeah. Or he could have not been in the role. That's a role where anybody and their mom could have been in this show.
Yeah,
or this film.
True.
Yeah, but speaking of which, Jane, would you do the honors of reading the article, please?
Yes, Hunger Game actress Jennifer Lawrence has returned from her brief absence from public life in order to complain about the Hollywood wage gap, blaming it for the fact that she got paid $5 million less than co-star Leonardo DiCaprio for Netflix's Don't Look Up, which wasn't very good, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't.
How much more than her is he in the movie though? Too. That's the other thing.
I didn't understand the praise for it. And here, she looks way older than she actually is. By the way,
how old is she?
Not 32.
That old.
She's 32.
Looked a little rough, kids. But anyway, Jane, please.
Lawrence has been quiet in the last couple of years, with her most recent film credit being the Adam McKay written and directed 2021 Netflix film, and her most notable role before that being her final appearance as Mystique in 2019's Dark Phoenix.
That is a great face.
I wonder who was the highest paid actor in that movie.
We already know. We already know.
But she won't tell you that part.
No.
Don't Look Up was a supposed climate change satire, which saw McKay use the concept of a people ignoring an impending asteroid collision as a metaphor for people in real life who ignore the concept of man-made climate change. The film, better described as a lecture about climate change, which concludes that audiences are morons for not doing enough to stop it, included an ensemble cast that included Jonah Hill, Tyler Perry, Ariana Grande, Cate Blanchett, and Meryl Streep.
Is Ariana Grande an actress?
She's a singer. I guess she acted.
Wasn't she on like some Disney? Wasn't she on the Disney Channel as a kid? Isn't she one of those actresses?
Yeah, she's one of those.
I thought she was one of those kids. Hey, notice Meryl Streep was in this show too, she famously called Harvey Weinstein a god.
There's a lot of
that.
cameos in it.
She's also playing Trump in this movie.
During a recent sit-down with Vogue magazine, Lawrence took exception to the fact that she only earned $25 million. Only $25 million
only
for the Netflix film compared to DiCaprio's $30 million, even implying that her genitalia was the reason she was paid less.
She actually used the word vagina, actually.
She have her quote below.
Maybe if your vagina was Leo, it would be worth 25 more million. I don't know.
It doesn't matter how much I do, I'm still not going to get paid as much as that guy because of my vagina, said Lawrence.
She comes off like many redheaded bitches I know. But anyway, continue on.
I love that she's wearing a schmuck with the.
Or should I say, not real redheaded bitches that are painted redheads? Let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't she look very? I'm not going to say. You know what?
Why is somebody making people like them more than me? What's wrong with me? Why is it that? I don't get it. Because she's fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and you're fucking J-Law. That's why.
I had forgotten who she was.
Right?
Rough.
This
All right.
isn't-
Well,
Oh,
she
you
was
want to read
Hunger
it?
Games. Just remember, she's Hunger Games.
Yeah, I forgot about that. This isn't the first time Lawrence has brought up her "don't look up" paycheck. Oh, she was really mad about this then. Back in December, she talked to Vanity Fair about the fact that DiCaprio was paid more. I wonder if he dumped her. Like, did they have a one-night stand?
No, she's too old for him.
She's too. Yeah, she's too old for him.
Yeah, 23 or less.
Oh, okay. Back in December, she talked to Vanity Fair about the fact that DiCaprio was paid more than her. However, her tone at the time was far more understanding of the situation than it is now.
That's true.
Beginning with a discussion of the fact that her name appeared before DiCaprio's in the film's opening credits, Lawrence explained to the magazine, "I was number one on the call sheet. Am I okay with being number one on the call sheet? Yeah. And I thought the credits should reflect that."
And you got your way. You got what you negotiated for, not what you deserve, bitch. Sorry.
Exactly. Leo was very gracious about it, she continued. "I think we had something called Laverne and Shirley, which is this billing they invented where it's an equal billing."
Oh, for fuck's sake. She was the one who made a big stink about it in the end of the day.
Yeah,
and Leo's
she
like,
did.
I don't fucking care. I'm making more than her anyways. Exactly what he said.
Right.
Interestingly, despite her recent complaints of gender inequality and her admission that DiCaprio was more than amicable to her aforementioned wish for top billing, Lawrence revealed at the time, "But I guess maybe somewhere down the line, I kicked the stone further. Like, what if it wasn't equal?" However, confronted with the fact that DiCaprio made more than her, Lawrence actually admitted, "Look, Leo brings in more box office than I do." Okay, before adding that she was extremely fortunate and happy with my deal.
Yeah, you should be considering.
She is the definition of C word.
Oh.
Why don't you go and ask each and every one of Leo's female co-stars in the past how much they made, including Matt Damon. That was a joke, guys. You should have laughed.
Okay, so
Nobody laughed. Nobody.
He's in one of my
Fuck it.
favorite. He's in one of my favorite underrated films of all time that nobody appreciates, The Aviator. There was a cavalcade of amazing female stars in that film. Not one of them have said shit about how much money they earned in that film, right? This is the first person to come out and drop this bologna sausage on us.
If I made $25 million for pretending for a couple months,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have anything to say about it. That's
Yeah.
more than enough.
Look,
I've been overpaid.
my agent negotiated the shit, and I signed the contract. So,
Well, she says it there herself. Okay, let's be real here. Yeah. She's well aware of the fact that at her point in her career, she is not worth $30 million. Not only that, she's not even really worth $25 million. But she still got it. So she should just shut up and be happy about it. Because at this point, not many people are making $25 million fucking dollars making a movie.
Right.
There's not very many Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprios, and all that shit out there. There's only a handful.
But it's not even just that. I mean, it's just
even a Julia Roberts for that.
But you're right. Yeah, because they keep having to reintroduce her. But I'm not even going to get into that. What I have to say is
but she gets about 20-30 million per gig, though. Don't think she don't.
She does 20, yeah. But it's a weird. We're in a weird place, right? Where these people are bitching about making that kind of money when there's like a massive homeless problem in this country and all this other stuff they proclaim that they give two shits about. You know what I mean? It's
that's the Bono problem, right? It's all your fault. The world sucks, but I'm gonna go get in my private jet now, and
that's why I don't care about anything this chick has to say. I'm sorry. It's just let me ask Jane. Do you care what she has to say about this at all?
No, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's kind of ridiculous that she's doing all of this because, like you said, her agent negotiated this. So that's where the problem is.
And she signed it.
That's exactly it. That's what I said in my video too. I'm like, she should be complaining to her agent. I'm like, find a better agent then. If you want that extra $5 million, if your life is gonna, begin and end with that $5 million after you get, like Tom said, $25 million for 3 months of playing pretend, really? And Jane said the same thing. Like, why is this an issue? Why is of all the things that are issues, this is the hill you want to die on when let's be honest, her fame begins and ends with the Hunger Games, pretty much. I mean, she's nobody's clamoring for more Mother. I mean,
no one went to see X-Men because of her, let's be real.
Right? No. She's mid. She's mid-tier. That's it. That's the best she has been is mid-tier.
So let me talk about that, right? So was she the best Mystique we've ever had?
No, fuck no. She was horrible.
Who was the best Mystique we've ever had?
Oh, of course it was what's her face? Rebecca Romijn.
Rebecca Romijn? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That character can be played by anybody, by the way, because the character's blue.
Well, not Lizzo.
Whoa. That's a big matzo ball hanging out there.
That's a lot of blue paint.
That's the entire Blue Man Group worth of paint.
No, and there's another point where J-Law was even such a little twat, and I'm going to use that word because I rarely do, that Rebecca Romijn went through the process of being completely painted from head to motherfucking toe, except for 3 spots on her body.
That's true.
But yet J-Law, she complained enough to where she got a motherfucking bodysuit in the last 2. Yeah. Like, come on, how fucking much of a...
And Rebecca Romijn arguably could continue to play that character.
No, and to be real, Etep, like, to be honest, she probably only shot for about a month. This isn't like a superhero movie. They're only looking at like 3 to 4 weeks shooting probably. If it's a superhero movie, then it's like 2-3 months. But like,
it doesn't have to be that long.
Thanks. I didn't know.
It came across as an indie movie.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no way they shot this movie for more than a month.
I didn't see it. It didn't even interest me. I'm just like, meh, with this, what is it? Don't Look Up or whatever.
It barely got a blip. It got like a couple of nominations.
It got a bump because it was, the star power, but that was it. I don't know that anybody appreciated it.
I didn't watch it.
And you know what, Naya? If she didn't want the money, I will take it. Yeah, I'll be good with that. That's retirement money for most people. Yep. I'm sorry. That's true.
Leo has done more movies than... That's the thing. Leo is one of the most consistent actors in Hollywood. Like outside of Tom Cruise and maybe used to be Will Smith until recently. Like those 3 were the only ones as far as men that I could say were movie stars. And you had like your Julia Roberts and a few other on the your Meryl Streeps and your very few. That's it.
Tom. Who's the last movie star? Tom.
Tom Cruise and Leonardo DiCaprio. Don't forget Leo. He's still consistent.
Tom Cruise has got everybody looking at Scientology in a new light now. Going,
that's right. It's like, Bill Maher actually said it in the worst guy.
I actually got a video rolling on that. By the way,
I cannot wait. Midnight Age is going to drop the best video you've ever seen
because Bill has had some pretty good takes until that.
On a plane.
Sorry.
Say again.
What'd you say, Jane? Sorry.
No, I was just talking about the latest promo for his next movie. He's literally sticking out of a plane in the air.
I know, dude's rad.
Yep.
I'm like, I want to be that guy when I grow up.
And
Wait,
he's
I'm fucking
61, right? Is that how
I'm
old
thinking
Tom is
about
now?
going to have my thetan levels checked. I mean,
yeah,
That's dad, dude. I'm like, this.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm like,
we missed
wait,
something here.
yeah,
maybe I
maybe-
can convert. I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't know. Well, you can just add on. Apparently, you
Do
can
I have
add-
the money to get
I'm
into
not rich enough
Scientology
yet.
is
That's
my
my
question.
thing. That's my
That's-
problem, Etep. Yeah, like I don't know if I'm rich enough yet. So
If you tell
I'm like,
them you're an
I'm
if you told
doing
me-
well, but not
if
Scientology well.
But if they tell you, if you tell them you're going to be an actor or you're an actor, like you have a background in performance, they'll help you. They'll put you in the Blue Hollywood Center. You'll get a chance to like audition for parts. You get it like stuff.
This
and
is the thing. You know, Jennifer Lawrence is complaining about $25 million to play pretend. The last time I got in the ring and played pretend, I got paid $100 and I got hit in the head with a steel chair. So let's not cry about $25 million here. You know, I took a chair shot for $100. I mean, it's not. There's really, I didn't have a stunt man. It's like, hey, can we stop the match real quick? I'm gonna roll under the ring, get the stunt Etep in here. You know, and let's have him get hit with the chair.
And this is J Law's biggest mistake, right? Is like, let's be real. Is she really the star of the movie? No, it was Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Nobody gave a shit that she was in the fucking movie.
Holy shit.
Anybody who knew Harvey Weinstein should know that if there's any, if you're not going to do it, somebody else will. I mean,
Wait. Holy cow, look who this is.
It's a bald.
We're going live in 5, guys.
Oh, and the super chats just totally came to a dead stop.
They dried up. Yeah, they dried up.
All
like
gone.
Pelosi.
Let me fix this. All right. So, by the way, the one super chat that came in before Scott got here, and now we're not going to get another one. Australian $5 coming from Jen Wong says, hey, don't call her a C word. Many of us like lady bits and consider it an insult when you compare
I didn't say the
J-Law
C word. I said the T word.
I actually said C word.
Oh, you did it? Oh, I did miss that. Holy
I did
crap.
not say the C word. I said C word. I don't do that.
I would have played a Carl Urban gif.
The boss would come in here and you would see me smacked upside the head with something heavy and metal, likely. It would hurt.
And I even kind of backed off a little bit on the W. I still said it, but still.
Hey, what's up, Scott? Thanks for popping in for a moment.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
We were wrapping
J-Law.
up the J-Law, Weinstein hypocrisy.
Yeah.
The whining and the Weinstein.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's a title. Good job, Tom. The whining and the Weinstein. Well done.
That's a
I
video
just
right
don't know why
there.
she's going public with it. Like it creates negative
hey.
attention.
Jane, have you seen the fappening? She showed
You
you
want to
all
know
of the
why,
public.
Jane? Probably because,
pubic. I mean, it
even
was bad.
she decided to take a break at the wrong time in her career because guess what? She's coming back now and she's at that age where it's tough to find a role for somebody at that age when they're a woman actress or an actress because either you're not young enough to play the love interest in most cases, you're not old enough to play the mother or the grandmother yet. She might have a couple more years to play like a superhero or something like that, or maybe in some rom-coms and bank on her name. But that's the thing. She's not gonna make $25 million on a rom-com.
No.
No effing way.
No.
Shit, and let's just be honest. She doesn't seem that smart. Like, have you ever heard her? Have you ever heard her in a video?
bright. Oh, she's not.
She is not bright. And Leonardo has been around a lot longer, pulling a lot more box office numbers. Like, come on. Like,
I'm not being hyperbolic when I said he's been acting longer than she's been alive.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, she's way out of his league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but not league, but
Well, people
age-
forget
age
that he
league.
started acting when he was like 7 or 8 or something like that, or 6.
Wonder
I remember
Years.
he was
He was
really
on the
young.
Wonder.
Yeah,
Or
he's
no,
on
not the
Wonder
Wonder.
Years.
No, not the
Wonder
Wonder
Years
Years.
was his
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. That was his big break, but he was acting before that.
Yeah.
God, what was growing pains? Hold on.
The
He
bo-
was like Growing Pains was.
I want to say he was like 12,
probably
13,
the late
14,
80s.
maybe in that age.
Yeah, it
maybe
was like
15
the late.
at the most.
and
But
then,
like,
and then What's Eating Gilbert Grape? The guy's first film kicked people in the
he
sack.
got nominated for an Oscar for that. People forget.
Who beat him
Right
that
out.
year? Because he was
I
amazing.
can't remember,
culture.
but that was the one time I was like, "Damn, that's bullshit."
Yeah, the kid. I mean, the
Damn.
kid played it. He was unbelievable. Did Johnny win it that year instead of
No,
him?
he didn't even get nominated. Nothing
Okay.
else from that movie got nominated,
Which
but
is
Leo.
stupid. No, I thought the mother did.
Maybe. Oh yeah, she did. She won. That's
Yeah,
right.
she
Thank
won.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe it
And,
did
you
get
know,
for screenplay, but yeah.
To that point too, I don't think he took a break. Did he ever take a break from acting?
He takes like little breaks, but he
He
just
goes on
makes movies
vacation.
when he wants to. Yeah, he goes on a vacation for like every other year. He'll make a movie, pretty much. It seems like.
Because I feel like she stepped away to have like a family or something. And
I don't know
now she's
what her
trying to get back
reasoning was,
into
but
it.
yeah.
Right, when her comedy friend, the loudmouth, had a baby, she had a baby.
She had a friend.
Yeah, what's her name? The loud one.
Oh,
you know?
okay. I didn't know she had a kid, but still, though,
Amy
you know,
something. Amy some.
Oh,
she made a mistake of doing it at the wrong time for her career.
Or she could have just gone off on a
Schumacher?
high note. Like just
Amy
do
Schumer.
business and do something else.
Schumer, that's right.
Amy Schumer. Ugh.
Ah,
Oh wait, was that the John Cena baby? You're talking about?
something like that.
You were
Look at
so
all-
convinced of that, aren't you?
Dude, she totally nailed that dude. Well,
That was
actually,
like 12 years ago. There's no way that's his kid.
Look at
I
all
mean,
these
one of them
movies
is
he's
out there.
producing. Look
Who?
at all that stuff he's
Yeah,
producing.
I would love to be able
Who
to
are
see
we
that.
looking at?
This
Leo?
is Leo.
Oh, well, it's
Have
because
you ever
Leo's.
thought of like embiggening that? Because I can't read
Oh, I'm
any.
Go
of
to
it.
his acting
Yeah, hold
credits
on.
for one.
Yeah, I will.
that-
I just saw that. I was like shocked. Look at all those movies
Yeah,
coming
it's-
in.
Akira.
Yeah,
How's he
Akira,
doing?
exactly. I don't know. I have to look
Yeah,
at
see,
that.
pretty much. Oh shit, he took a bigger gap between The Revenant and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Dude,
than I
put it
thought.
this way: he's playing Teddy Roosevelt, Jim Jones. like this dude doesn't shy away from some bigger historical people either. I mean, he played FBI agent or FBI like to wear dress.
Ed J. Edgar.
J. Edgar
Yeah,
Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover. Like, I mean, and you're right. He works every
Scroll
odd
down,
number.
It's about every other year.
It's
about
every
other
odd
year.
number, pretty much.
But it sounds like-
Look at 2010, 20,
He
2011.
takes a year off.
These are
and then,
just
yeah.
acting
Yep.
credits. So he's also a producer. Like he
Yes.
does actually make movies.
Yes. And I think that's why he takes a year or two off here and there. Because, I mean, yes, it goes 04, but then he has 2 in 06, 2 in 08.
Yeah, he'll make 2
3
or 3
and
years
10,
the
you
years
know?
he works. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's
but he's okay. So what he does is he just goes and he like pick, and then he does them, and then they release in like a timetable.
Well,
I'm sorry,
because he's locked up.
yeah.
Probably
Oh yeah,
for
he locked
years,
the shit
that's
up
why.
forever. Yeah. He is the
Basketball
very
Diaries.
the very critical definition of a working actor. You take
Oh,
your
that's right.
next
He was
job,
in Poison Ivy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you take your next
Oh,
job.
Jesus, he was.
And Critters 3, I know very well.
You take your next job before your current job shows up on screen. That is a working
Yep.
actor.
He was in Roseanne for
Yeah.
an episode.
He was in a lot of shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
the kid started in 79.
Roseanne.
That's what I'm
Wasn't he
saying.
gay?
How old was he then when he started? Because I said he was like 6 or 7.
He was he
his
was
birthday?
in that Darlene's Friend episode. That's where he's gay in that
Oh,
I
episode.
think
that's
you're
right.
right. I think you're right.
That was a very special episode.
It was a very special
But
episode.
he's not the one, I don't think, though. He's just credited as Darlene's classmate.
How old is he? When was his
Yeah, when was he
birthday?
born?
74.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he was even younger than that. He was
Yep.
only... No, he
Dude
was
is
6.
near-
6 or
Yep.
so when he started.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
that's
is-
right.
Older than I
He is
thought.
close to my age, and he is not going to date anybody that's over
Yeah,
20.
I'm sorry. It's amazing how different the two of you look.
Well, that was his...
You got the
that
beard.
was-
You got the
That
beard.
was what kept
I
him
have a
relevant
lot-
for so long, is he could play the younger parts for so long because
Yeah.
he looked like he was 12 when he was 18.
I have a lot more hair.
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
less scars. And I'm beautiful. I mean,
You're
let's
still
just
not
be honest.
Leonardo DiCaprio, though.
Right.
I mean, maybe if you had blue
You're not
eyes?
worth $30 million, Culture.
You can't tell culture that.
No.
Not for
I,
one
and
movie.
I do have blue eyes. I don't have the lighting.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
I'm just picking on him, Jay.
I have blue
You're
gray
good hair.
eyes. They're steely gray. I have much better hair. Thank you, Jane. I
love
you.
the old Tom Cruise pics before
Oh.
he had his teeth fixed. Those are
Look at how
awesome.
gnarly those things. That's
Oh
what?
my God.
That's
Who's
the
that?
Outsiders right there.
Outsiders.
Outsiders.
That was one of my favorite films of all time. And
Oh,
you
me
know
too.
what?
Did you
Winona
pick
Ryder's-
up the 4K yet on
Oh,
that
that sounds
Culture?
good.
Yes, I did.
Good job.
Winona Ryder was one of my 90s crush. She was like that girl that you're like, I could
She's
actually
like
maybe date
batshit
her.
fun crazy.
Yeah, she was like
Oh.
the artsy, she might have, fooled around with you, whatever,
Well, but she might have. She probably did. You don't know.
Let's see, before they were famous. I like these ones.
Oh my God, you're not really going to look at this.
No, we can talk about anything. I'm just looking.
Say, I think we had another topic yet, didn't we?
Okay, yeah, what's the other topic?
We're 2 hours in. Do we need another topic?
Well, I did did have that one Jennifer.
Whoop it
not
out.
Jennifer,
Whoop it out, dude. Whoop it out.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck's her name? Too many Jennifers. Fucking
Aniston?
Captain Marvel. It's
Cat
she's not a
Man
Jennifer,
Mediocre?
but Brie Larson. That
Brie.
thing.
Brie.
Yes.
What do you have about Brie?
This is funny, actually.
Oh, this is good stuff.
I want to get
Scotty.
your guys' reaction before anything here. So,
whoop it out.
Okay, I'm whipping it. Give me a second.
Whip it good.
While he's doing
Whip
that,
it good.
You know,
I found out I was 5%
I
European
feel sorry
Jew
for
today.
the wife. Jesus.
L'chaim, my brother.
One of us. Shalom L'chaim.
Shalom.
He has no patience.
All right. Okay. You ready?
None.
Can I show this now?
Yes. Jesus Christ.
You don't have to be.
Oh God.
She just has resting bitch face.
She already looks angry.
D23. Oh, by the way, I have. Okay.
Yeah, can we talk a little bit about that too?
Sure.
This is very short, so you guys got to.
Okay.
This is a real quick question, and I want to hear your guys' response to the answer.
How long will you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
Don't be so modest.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Don't be so modest. She's being honest.
That's the first time
nobody wants you.
That's the first time in her life she had an honest.
Let's pause at the moment when she's asked
Will you
that.
play Captain Marvel for?
She knows.
She went. Okay,
Look how
so
pissed she is that he asked her that right there.
Some of us look at facial cues, right? Her chin bust went up, like she really legitimately did not know how to respond to that.
Here's my response right here. She's not being modest. She's really not sure. That's
I'm
genuine
with you.
disgust.
I'm with you.
With people who did not accept her with open arms and gracious applause for being so brave and stunning.
You know, and they're getting so bold, guys. Like, I don't know if you talked to any about She-Hulk, but She-Hulk, this newest episode, like, they literally go after Twitter folk. They literally turn on the Twitter folk like, oh,
Twitter
I get
armor.
this will
Yeah.
give us Twitter armor for a week. Like,
Wrong.
shut the hell up.
Yeah, no, you know what? That was such a throwaway line that they misused. There was a better joke there. That's the thing. She-Hulk is a show of there's a better joke there.
Yep.
There's a better joke there for the entire show.
Yep.
But when you've got a bunch of cat ladies and wine moms writing it that admitted they don't know how to write a show, and instead they work for Disney, who has how many lawyers, working for them as a company. It's like, hey, we need to write a courtroom procedural. We want to write this courtroom scene. Do you think we could have some lawyers come in and just maybe critique our work or give us
people would do?
Maybe it's the old white guy in me. I don't know.
We need a Jewish lawyer in here, maybe.
It's saying, call Murray. Call my cousin. Here's his card. No, really, it's just like
Saul
have
busy?
better call Saul. No, but really, like, I was just gonna say, have some people come in from legal and just coach. They're writers. They should have the acumen to write things, and if they're given the tools, to properly make them coherent and entertaining at the same time with it, putting in jokes and with the legal procedural you're trying to do, then my God, there it is. It's not brain surgery. I mean, you're paid to fucking write. But what do I know?
What happened?
We got a Raging Rhino in the chat. We haven't even mentioned Star Wars at all yet. We did mention Disney in D23. And if Scott wants to talk about it, I just got to say up front, all these things they're announcing are hilarious. It's like a parody.
That's why I want to.
Isn't it? It's like a fucking parody. It's like, is this shit real?
It's
At first, I thought
ridiculous.
it was jokes. I thought, no way.
Can we get a list of what they
let's see here. We got like Mufasa and shit like that here.
Yeah, the Mufasa.
Wait. Just a real quick commentary on all of that.
I don't even know.
We love you.
What's hilarious is there's a couple things that I can't believe they're going straight to Disney Plus, like the Enchanted sequel and Hocus Pocus 2. I'm like,
that
wait a
blew
minute.
my mind with Halloween
those
coming
are
right
like
now.
Box office gold when you're fucking that one up.
I thought Hocus Pocus 2 was going to be cinematic, like a theatrical. A theatrical release.
I don't
That's
think so.
straight to.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's coming straight to Disney Plus. So is
Here we go.
Disenchanted
Here it is,
as well.
ladies and gentlemen. Straight to the D. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, straight to the D. You're the host, buddy. I'm just here for the ride. Let's read it.
Hocus Pocus 2. Ugh.
We got Hocus Pocus 2. We got Disenchanted. We got Strange World. We got Haunted Mansion, The Little Mermaid, Elemental, Wish, Zootopia Plus, Iwaju, whatever that is, Win or Lose, Peter Pan and Wendy, Inside Out 2,
It has
Eli,
to have Wendy. Ugh!
Snow White with Gal Gadot, and Mufasa.
Going straight to the D, baby.
Going straight to the D, baby. There was a few other things that were announced, like Neverending Story, that also are not on here.
Wait,
Whoa,
what?
whoa, whoa,
Wait,
whoa, whoa!
wait,
Back
wait,
that.
wait, back the truck
Are they
up.
rebooting it? Are they redoing? Are you? Oh my! You know it's not going to be a little boy. If it is, he isn't actually a boy anymore.
It will not be a Atreyu.
I bet. I wonder if it'll be his daughter.
No, it'll be Trans AU.
Yeah, something like
and of
that.
course, Indy 5's not listed on here. There's a few other Star Wars things that were announced that are not on here.
But these are all going straight to Disney Plus.
As far as I know.
Okay.
Anything that says DP on it. I mean, I'm sorry, Disney Plus on it.
See, I think that's why the things that I mentioned are not on here, because they
That was
might
a
be
great
going
show.
theatrically. Although I think Neverending Story, they just announced it as a show coming,
Okay.
but they didn't have a thing. That or it's a movie, and that's why it's not in this list.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Goonies 2.
Okay, that's not really a
stop it.
Goonies 2. Okay, people need to understand what this is.
You
It
open the door.
is a reality show
What?
that Warner Brothers did not pick up and Disney did. And what it is it's basically a reality show about a bunch of groups of kids that are remaking Goonies. And I don't know if it's like a contest involved in it or some shit like that. You know, like when those fans redid Indiana Jones shot for shot?
Yep.
Like that's what it is. So I don't know if we're just going to see the result of this, or if it's actually going to be a whole like reality show around these kids making these, different versions of the Goonies, or if they're all working on it together and it's going to be cut up of their different sections or something like that. I have no idea on that part, but it's not an actual Goonies 2, just in case people are curious about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and interestingly enough, the Peter Pan and Wendy is actually Weeder and Pan. I mean, Wendy and Peter. It's weird, but Jude Law's in that. That's how trash that
Like
is.
they're together, like a relationship.
Or she probably teaches him how to be a boy.
Right.
Elemental, I don't like the color landscape of Elemental. Like, what is that all about?
I think that is the new
Pixar sucks.
Well, that's probably true.
Beavis actually said that this last week.
Yeah, no. In the thing I'm more worried about, Scott, is Inside Out 2, the transiting.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that's the whole idea of the movie. People say when you see the father's brain, they're all male. When you see the mother's brain, they're all female. And when you see the kid's brain, she has male and female components to her feelings.
Oh my God! It's an Australian.
There's an Australian.
Hello.
Rhino.
What the fuck's going on? Man, this is a joke.
Yep.
This is a joke.
No.
Disney has become a joke.
No.
Oh, that was him actually talking. I thought you were playing another recording.
Yeah, right. Right.
Man, I just I was looking at this and I didn't even know D23 was actually happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
It flew so far.
I think they're
under
kind of
the radar.
embarrassed themselves too, right?
They are. Actually, this may be
They
the last
should be.
D23. That okay? I just broke news here. Okay.
Break it.
I gotta stop saying
Didn't
things.
Chapek get booed?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but I can't find the video. I think they removed it.
That would be beautiful.
Okay, here's words. Words are this. There's a decent chance this was the last D23. They may go to the every other year thing that they have the Disney Expo in Anaheim, just because it's closer to Burbank and they don't have to travel and do a lot of shit. Second, Chapek's not exactly beloved. I'm just gonna say that, especially by the parks folks. And the other thing going on with all of this is they didn't really impress anybody. This was the softest reception to anything they've ever had as far as the trending categories go.
Oh, sure. You took it down. I thought you were still showing it. I was actually showing the thing where it looks like the video's been removed.
Oh, yeah. Whoop it out.
It's up on the thing. My share, the thing I was sharing. Just share it. There you go.
You know what blows my
I did
mind?
it. No love lost for Chapek.
Yeah, see, like
They
this is
whooped it
the
out.
story, and it's like totally gone. The video is like
They
non-existent.
pulled the video down. It used to be right there. That used to be the video.
So I don't know how bad of a boo it was, or if it was just a little boo.
That dude is the Roger Goodell of entertainment properties.
That's an unenviable moniker right there, Culture.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is it would have been exactly the same if it was still Bob.
Iger was a piece of shit too.
Iger, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, see like this. If these are the same people who were cheering for Harrison Ford kissing fucking Phoebe Waller-Bridge's ass, then I'm glad they were booing at him. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, by the way, he came out with and kind of tried to inspire tears on the fact this is the last 1995, and then we all know exactly because he hinted at the fact that he was being killed off in this last film. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's been leaked out there in the world. Fuck you, very
Han Jones. You know what I found funny? There's an article on Bounding Into Comics, hail to them, talking about Kevin Feige and a speech he gave about Richard Donner and staying true to the comic books and all this crap. And then did you do a video about that, Etep? And then go.
No, I didn't have a chance to.
Okay, and then you go to what he talks about in D23, which all about diversity and pretty much not sticking to the comic books. I mean, the guy is he played us all at the beginning. He gave us a great 10 years. Even if you didn't love every movie.
I just think he drank the Kool-Aid, Scott.
You think so? You don't think that was always around him? Okay.
No, he just gargled the fuck out of it.
There it is. That's the right word. He didn't drink it. He fucking gargled that shit.
I like it.
He bukkakied himself with it.
He really did. So here's
what blows my mind, just quickly. You know what blows my mind with all the D23 stuff? Is how much they don't have for theatrical release.
Nothing.
That's what I was saying just before you got in here, Ryan. Actually, yeah.
I missed it. Sorry. I just
no. That's fine. It was I
honestly just can't believe. Like it's almost flipped on its head. Usually you would get like, this is coming out in theaters. This is the release date of this. This is, and it's all like theatrical releases. And then on top of that, they might have a couple of series here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is insane. They have lost their way. Disney and it's all the volume too. It's like pump out as much content as possible, make it look as shit as possible. People are now saying, "Oh, the volume is half the reason why the She-Hulk stuff isn't that good." Like, really, is it really just that, or is it the fact that you guys just really care more about the diversity and representation stuff, and that's all that matters? The quality isn't there. The quality of the writing isn't there.
Well, let's just be honest, guys. This is, and I like this right here. I'm unsubscribing.
I'm stealing Disney LGBTQ plus.
I love that. That's fantastic. But it's you said it. It's perfect. And the truth is, they have an agenda. And people think we're crazy for talking about it, but there has been proof now. We have seen video from their own meetings talking about how they're indoctrinating our children. And the idea of teachers and Hollywood and the government now trying to tell our children that what we teach them about morality and what we teach them about life, they need to know about sex. It's not about good and bad. It's just about you need to know about sex. And it's all right if a drag queen is, on a pole having a little kid awkwardly shove a dollar bill in its G-string. But it's family friendly. They are using every terminology to make you not believe that they're doing this, but the agenda is to open your kids to a world way before they're old enough to even understand or comprehend what it is all about.
Yep. They're going to push it to a point where we're going to be like, Weinstein wasn't that bad.
Dude,
I'm not doubting it. We're there.
At least that was two consenting adults in a way.
What was that? What was that California?
You want to be a star, don't you, baby?
Yeah.
Well, what's that California law they were trying to pass? The 10-year law.
Yeah, they were trying to make it.
It's passed.
Trying to pass it.
I think that's how they got him, if it wasn't mistaken.
Sick.
You were going to say something, Tap?
No. What law was that now?
It was something they were extending. The
Culture knows it. Culture. The law is like it used to be like under.
It actually they have now changed the law. So if you're within the certain period of years of somebody who it might consent to your lewd acts,
it's kind of like this. If you're 14, he could be 24.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
Like in my state, it's 2 years under the age of 16. So if the girl's 15,
used
the
to be
boy
called the
cannot be
Romeo and
over
Juliet
17 in
law.
a day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm with you on
what
that.
state
That's
is
a good.
the 10-year thing?
It was supposed to. I thought California was trying to pass it. Culture
It's
saying
done.
they did it. It's done. So I have to
I
look
didn't know
into
it
that.
got done, but
That's
yeah.
sick, man. Is this the one?
Well, what it does is it doesn't actually make consent legal in that situation, but it kind of it changes the way it's criminalized.
Yeah,
you know, within a
that's
certain
one
period
step
of time.
closer to normalizing something else.
Exactly, mapping,
Yeah.
maps. Yeah.
Yep.
So it has
Map.
to do
Yes.
whether to force them to register.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Mando season 3 trailer? Did you watch that?
I didn't watch it yet. I just saw it came out. I got a notice, but I haven't seen it. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet either. You want to watch it together?
I don't
The
care. Copyright
Mandalorian
strike.
trailer?
All right. Yeah, Mandalorian.
It's mostly shit from the first 2 seasons
it?
anyway. But
Then
yeah.
I don't need a copyright
It was the
strike
same
for
one
that.
that leaked out from before.
Oh, we don't have to watch.
Yeah.
We can, but here's the Indiana Jones.
I'd rather
stuff
watch
here.
this.
Just 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just 2 seconds. I'm going to give you the bill real quickly. A new bill headed to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk, which is already signed, by the way, would lower penalties for adults who have consensual sex with a minor. You can't have consensual sex with a minor, but let's step aside from that. If an offender is within 10 years of age of the victim. So I had that right.
No,
This
that's
is State Bill 145.
That's crazy.
It's child abuse.
Where's
It
the
is.
line
Yeah.
on that? Because if you're 20, that's 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
The victim is between the ages of 14 and 17.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what it
where-
says?
yeah,
Okay.
there it is. Thank you,
That's
Jane.
still
And-
bad because I mean,
Okay.
what you're
It's
talking
still
about
14
is
That's still
24.
backpedaling
Why
bullshit.
That's
doesn't-
terrible.
out of
Disgusting.
college and a child.
and it gives judge the discretion, which there shouldn't be any, but it gives the judge discretion. This bothers me. To decide based on the facts of the case whether the offender needs to be registered or not.
They might as well call this the Kevin Spacey law because that's
my
really what it's
God.
trying to
That's what it
protect.
is.
Let's
Yep.
be
Anyway,
real.
I'm sorry. I had to bring it out there in the world because it bothered the shit out of me. When it
Keep
happened.
in mind, though, we're in this era where they're also allowing these children at this very age group to decide to change their gender.
Well,
And sometimes against their parents.
Nobody is deciding that, right? It's being forced upon people outside of the law.
And we got to make sure we also state this. I know a lot of people in the LGBT or, the ABC faction, and they are good people. They are some, great relationships, people that work for the government. I mean, I know so many different people that are gay, bisexual, lesbians, whatever you are. I don't care what you are.
No.
But these people that are, and it said, Naya said it right here the best. Or no, not that one. It's a different one. But they're trying to attach pedophiles, the P in the ABC group.
Yes.
The M.
They're fighting it.
They're going to add them as an M.
Yeah,
What's
we got to
the
be
M?
careful talking about it. But yeah, you're right. That's the MAP.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah. No, and I know
Scott, you may
exactly
just
what you're
got
talking
that.
about, Scott, and I've heard the same kind of thing, and this is exactly what they're saying. It's this idea because there's a lot of people in these groups who want to make it okay to be able to diddle underage people and get them involved, and it's supposedly seen as, it's not the same when you're in the gay community because you explore your sexuality when you're so much younger, and they're like, that's fucking bullshit.
Yep. My pronouns are so thank you.
In fact, that's the kind of behavior that creates confusion more than anything.
Yep.
But I'm
And
not
they-
going to get down that path, but yeah.
And they hide it under this banner of affirmation. Like, we're
Yes.
affirming what the child wants to do.
Yep.
No, you're not. You're grooming.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a secular group of people who are trying to adopt the LGBTQ movement to further along this agenda, along with other parts of the trans community. That there's the good parts and there's the bad parts. Well, the bad parts are also trying to use it for their own agenda.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people in the original, let's call it the original LGBTQ community, who are just getting sick and tired of their lives being used as an agenda.
Yeah, they're
basically.
being hijacked.
Yeah, they're getting sick of it.
Yeah.
Just like the normies are starting to get sick of the entertainment. It's funny how the reality starts to come to the surface, if that makes sense. Like, all these people start to come out of the woodwork. All of these things is now starting to, it almost feels like, I know things definitely in the entertainment sphere definitely feel like it's getting worse, especially with things like Rings of Power. But in society, I certainly feel like the pendulum is starting to swing, and the culture or the entertainment side of that can only follow that. You know, people are starting to now go, oh, you're going to be offended by something I say? Well, go fuck yourself. Like, they're not caring as much anymore, I don't think. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that we can now sit here and go, okay, this is becoming a joke, like with what we're talking about with this age group thing, this difference, all of that. That's disgusting. It's to me, that's even more disgusting than drag your kids to Pride.
Right.
You know, like, and that's fucking disgusting.
So you convert your single. I can't even speak tonight.
We pretty much already have it set up in a system to where if you're an adult, you can make a decision. Whether somebody else thinks that's right or wrong, that's up to them. But once an adult line has been drawn, there's an adult line, right? Doesn't matter if you're a 50-year-old with an 18-year-old, as long as they're an adult, right? That's all that fucking matters.
That's the
you
problem.
may not, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. That's the law.
You realize that the male adult brain does not hit maturity.
I
until
agree.
like
I
25.
honestly think that 20 should be the cutoff, to be honest with you.
Mine's still working.
In retrospective, especially growing up in my lifetime, I would say 20
No,
is
but
the better cutoff for all
I'm
that
throwing
shit.
science at people. Science is scary.
Well, no, but that's a good line between both, right?
I guess.
I don't
But
think so.
here's the story, right? Oh,
I
well,
think you need to protect high schoolers from college predators.
Well, yeah, in that respect, yes.
Yeah,
and I
well,
think
yeah,
that's
well,
why the line has been
the 30
driven at 18. So
Hey,
there
look,
you go.
the 34-year-old teacher female should not be banging the 17-year-old male like student. That is a bad plan.
Right, because it didn't happen for me. It shouldn't happen for you.
Oh my God.
My Spanish teacher was hot.
But guess what? Now, if they're within the age of, if they're within 10
Trying to make a
years,
joke.
they actually probably, could get away with it now.
It has gotten to the point where, people don't understand that it is a teacher banging their student. That is grooming. Yes, this boy might feel like he did something amazing, but the truth of the matter, he got taken advantage of. A 15-year-old kid is not the same as an 18-year-old kid. Mentally, physically, they're different. And the idea that you're going to push that 10 years, you're telling me a 24-year-old or a 14 is as mature as a 24? Like what that 24-year-old can do with that 14-year-old, it makes me sick. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Before we do, I just want to acknowledge that the lovely Sherry said, I identify as a threat. My friend.
I love it.
Fuck around and find out. That's your other pronoun.
Catch me outside.
I want to ask because
Catch me outside by that.
I missed the beginning of the stream, but have you guys talked
I
about
did too.
Cobra Kai yet?
About what?
Which Cobra Kai?
No, we kind of,
we can't.
not everybody's
We can't.
seen it.
We can't.
Okay,
dude.
I know, and I'm
right?
not going to give any spoilers. I just want to say it's fucking awesome.
Isn't it?
Yep.
Did you get the thing I
so-
sent you, Rhino?
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to read through. Like, man, I'm a bit disappointed with myself, to be honest.
Thank you, Frankie.
Tom, are you?
Yeah,
gonna
let's
show
play
us-
this.
Wait, are you going to show us Phoebe Waller? I'm going to hang
Well, I was
myself.
gonna say, speaking of LGBTQ, we got this Phoebe Waller bridge clip here, but
He's gonna suck rocks.
but I sent Rhino a clip of Ralph Macchio talking about all his roles, and when he gets to a certain point, he brings up the possibility of a Miyagi prequel, and that's something that Rhino and I waxed about years ago. Now.
Really?
Yeah.
He would, and you know what? If he was part of it, like producing it, it would be an
That might be
honor
all
thing.
right.
It would be an honor thing. He would hold because
there is no way he would mistreat Pat Morita.
Never,
There's
never.
no way.
Great thing is, from the 3 or even the 4 Karate Kid movies that he is in, there's so much
There's a lot.
backstory about
Right.
Miyagi that you can dive into and
Yeah.
really.
I mean, the loss of his family, all of it.
Oh, the
And his
fighting in the
wife.
wall.
Yeah.
There was a time when Ryan and I just went through the whole fucking thing, and we were talking about all the different possibilities.
Yeah.
How he set up like a whole set of seasons of how you could go through this whole thing.
Oh, easy.
And just kind of set it up where it ends, and he gets the job as the handyman at the.
Oh wow, that'd be
complex.
so dope.
But
That
we-
would be
we
really
came
dope.
up with the whole
All right.
concept. but he
All right,
actually
let's watch
owns
this.
the complex.
No. So real quick, I'm going to say this: the person that took this is a press member.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because I've been to these events. If you don't have
That's
press
why
credentials-
Chapek was getting booed, probably.
if you don't
Yeah.
if you don't have press credentials, you cannot take these. You can't take images like this. You can't shoot them.
Looks like everybody's shooting video. So
no,
yeah.
and again, it's press location.
I don't know about this chubby guy over here with the bald head. I don't know if he's press. He's got a.
Well, hey, I know a lot of these people. Anyway, well, go ahead.
What an iconic song.
Yeah, and then they put these people like Kathy bullshit fucking shit neck.
She's wearing white after Labor Day. Ha!
Thank you.
How stoned is he right now?
He's hammered.
Very.
For all of us, giving the opportunity to us to make these films for you.
He's so.
And I think, I'm very proud to say.
I've had a lot of soy.
I'm very proud to say that this one is fantastic.
Is it though?
I don't know.
And this is one of the reasons.
Liar!
Oh, bullshit.
Those movies are about mystery and adventure, but they're also about.
He is so fucking frail.
Yeah, he seems like he's about to start crying.
Really helped me.
I'm so disappointed.
Did he come out of the closet?
He's very gay.
Tell as well as.
He married Callista Flockhart, so that says something.
Said it's gonna kick our ass.
So I'm delighted to be here again. Maybe for the. No. Not me. This is it. I will not fall down for you again. Well, thank you so much.
I can't break another hip.
No way I can live through that shit again.
Is that really?
Sounds more like he's kissing her ass than it's gonna kick ass.
He's
So
80.
that's
Not only is he 80, he's fucking 107.
Was that
Dude looked like he was about to, Jane, go ahead. I'm sorry, sweetie.
No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no.
Somebody said something. I thought it was you.
It was probably raging.
I just wanted to ask, was that really Kathy standing next to her?
No,
other side.
There was Phoebe, a piece of shit.
Phoebe in the white.
Oh,
Kathy was on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah, the Phoebe over the River Kwai. She is terrible. And you know what? No matter what you believe, and no matter whether or not you think Doomcock is, credible or not, he's dead. And she's going to be the new Indy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought you just said Doomcock was dead. Oh, my God. You blew my mind on that one.
I'm not saying that because somebody said the quartering was dead the other day, but no.
Yeah, I don't know how that shit comes out. Look, it's ridiculous, man.
I can't wait till I'm important enough for people to say I'm dead.
Well, yeah, right, one day.
Goals, baby, goals.
He sounds frail. He doesn't even have that gravitas that he always had. I mean, he knows this is his last one. He didn't want to fight anymore. He just wants to go out. I'm done. Like, this is it.
Yeah, no, man. He wants to go out and crash planes. That's what he wants to do. No.
Yeah.
So that pantsuit wearing monstrosity next to him is going to be the new Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Even though I thought it was supposed to be Shia LaBeouf, but whatever.
He actually will never actually exist, Etep.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah,
it's been nice being here.
I just want to run through this real fast. These are your Marvel movies. You remember the first 10 years? Okay, so we got Black Panther.
I can't wait.
We got Black Panther, no Black Panther.
With Fat Namor.
Right.
Don't forget Fat Namor.
I think the biggest mistake they've ever made.
Giant cock Namor. Well,
the biggest mistake they're going to ever make is killing off T'Challa. Oh my God, I can't speak tonight.
T'Challa.
Thank you. None of us can say it. Because iconic first black character, you guys were talking about it earlier in comics, and you kill him off. And I understand out of the respect for the actor, but for the respect of that character, you can't kill him off. Maybe put him on the shelf, but they
or you just don't make this film.
Yes.
and easier.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
Best
trying
case
to
scenario.
say. So you go from that, then to you got Ironheart,
which is completegarbagetier.com.
That's gonna be trash.
How the hell does she end up in Wakanda? I can't wait to find that out.
I can tell you how because
how?
she's black, so all the black have to be put together.
I'm sorry, Jane. What?
Yeah.
Wait. No. What?
No, it makes
Great.
sense.
Now Jane's the black face of white supremacy on the street.
Yep,
Great.
yep. Sorry, Mark, you got bumped. Ant-Man, or it should be the Wasp and Ant-Man, Quantumania. I kind of want to see what they do with this, just because it might be a little psychedelic, you know, and freaky. But what is that? His daughter on the right? I don't know. Werewolf. Oh, I don't know what the fuck that is. Werewolf by Night. What the hell is Werewolf by Night?
I've heard of that.
Idea. It's some Marvel thing. Go ahead. Sorry, you took.
Oh, I was just gonna say they were talking about that like for at least a couple years, but I have no idea what it is. I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to jump in on that. I heard about it, but I had no idea what the hell it is.
Yeah,
you can
weird.
tell they're trying to do some like Universal Monsters thing with
Right,
it. But yeah,
right. They're gonna do their world.
That's an old comic according to Awesome One. So there you.
Okay. Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. This looks semi-interesting.
I mean, hey, Samuel L. You know.
Yeah, it's got that going for it.
We got Loki, which no one asked for except for Tina.
Nope.
No one wants to see this. He is such a shell of the Loki that was in our multiverse. This multiverse Loki is
low-key Loki.
Yeah.
He is low-key.
Space KEY.
I mean, he's literally telling her how great she is throughout the whole show. It made me sick.
Yep.
So no one wants that. Fantastic Four. I hope we get a good one.
This is the one I'm like waiting for, and they attached the director to what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Matt Shackman.
Yep. Matt Shackman.
Now, what has he done?
He actually has a very. I mean, he's a veteran of television and film. He hasn't done a lot of big stuff, but he's worked on a lot.
But he has a pedigree. Pedigree is the right word.
Okay.
That's the right word.
Okay.
Now the question is, can he deliver on this product? And he is getting. Or
is he just going to be a malleable director who can manage to get it done quick?
I don't think he's going to be that malleable, but he is getting shackled with the guy that we got to see as the weak version of Dr.
See, I heard he's not.
See, I've heard multiple things too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you that he's in it, but
okay, my source, Gary. I don't really have sources, but Gary told me that he's not going to be in it. And if
That's
he is,
what I had heard too, was that the Doctor Strange thing was just a fan gimme. After that, they're going to recast him.
He's going to be Block.
He's going to be in it.
I'm telling you, you can't have a token white guy running the show.
I did not say anything other than he's going to be in it.
So they're
okay.
So basically, what they're doing is they're gonna do Fan Four Stick, but in the MCU. Gotcha.
Yes. Yep. Then we got Echo because everybody wants to see Echo.
Nobody cares about
who asked for this show.
Daredevil Born Again, I'm scared for my favorite character. I am scared. And one of the Charlie Cox did an excellent version of him in Netflix.
Do you think
what?
Do you think he's going to regret this in a year?
Yes.
Yep.
Look, man, think about it. Daredevil has been one of his biggest roles. He's a great actor, but it's one of his biggest roles. And he hasn't done a crazy amount since then. And I think he really believes I truly think he will do the best job you could do with the crap they're going to give him.
Somebody I know who is a fan of a lot of these books is Jane. Jane, do you think Charlie Cox is going to succumb to the Disney-fication of this character?
I think that he is going to try his best to maintain the quality of the character and stay as true as possible to who the character is. But I don't think he's going to be given the material to actually accomplish that. And our first test for that is probably going to be She-Hulk.
Yes. I agree with you.
Right, Jane.
Okay,
the only thing we got going
week.
for it is his comments on the carpet, and
that's it.
The only other thing that I have hope for is the fact that Disney went out of their way to buy up all the Netflix shows, and all of a sudden, not only is he going to be a part of Echo, he's getting like what is it, 18 episodes. None of the other Marvel shows have gotten that many episodes.
No, because it's Charlie Cox. He's a beloved character.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Hell's Kitchen is one of my favorite places.
Same here, brother.
Yeah. So I just it's like this character that
and
place.
this all coalesced with not only did they realize how much love people had for not just this character but for Cox in the role, it also at the same time they had released that their audience was over 50% adults without children in the household.
Right.
So they're taking that into consideration going into the future.
If they fuck it up, they just lost a whole other demographic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At this point, I have zero faith in Marvel going forward.
Well, I mean, didn't the person from the one of the writers or the producer of She-Hulk tell us we're going to see a different version, like a light Daredevil?
We got to remember though, that was early on too. So we'll
Okay.
fingers crossed.
It was in the
I
last
hope it's different.
Okay, I don't care.
Yeah,
what's her name? Jessica Cow.
Gal. My point was that cameo was shot a while ago. Was my point.
Right. So let's just pray.
Disney has had control of this character longer than they realized how popular the Netflix version was. That was my initial point.
Yeah.
They did not know until he popped up in Spider-Man: No Way Home. And the old series skyrocketed to the top at Netflix because they were fine with just leaving it there and moving on with their 25% different Daredevil until they realized, oh shit, people
we love
still
him.
Love this character.
We love the brutalness.
I mean, I think that's the reason why audiences rejected Affleck's version of this character.
I did.
That was just a bad movie. And then if you watch the R-rated cut, it was like, there's such a better movie here.
Yes, but I watched it.
Is there an R-rated? I didn't see it.
I still wasn't thrilled, Tom. But
it's not great, but it's better.
Cox in this role on Netflix was incredible. Brilliant. Yeah, and dude, I would have loved 10 seasons of that. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. And I'm sorry that the version that I saw with I want to try to make a Flak Daredevil. When you have Matt Murdock on a seesaw playing around with Elektra, like you're blind, dude. You're supposed to be playing you're blind. Like it was like he was not blind as a blind man. Like Charlie Cox plays off blind man really well.
I wish they would have cut that bit out of the director's
Oh
cut,
my god, terrible.
They wish they would have.
But they had to leave room for that character, and they had to leave room for that opportunity.
Well, I was saying that because I do remember Vincent D'Onofrio was talking about how different his take on
he hated it.
The character was, but that we got to remember that all came out before Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah,
so we got to keep that in mind. And when that happened, shit changed.
Yeah, they killed it, right? And look, I mean, what's the big guy that they got to replace? Oh, this is gonna bother me.
Falcon.
No.
Captain Falcon.
Captain America.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Captain America Falcon.
It's fine. We definitely moved on.
Are you talking about Kurt Russell's kid as Captain America? Or are you talking about something else?
Wyatt Russell?
None of that could matter any less.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Then.
Well, we'll figure it out later. But I
see Captain America on screen.
I don't know. It's Falcon. It's not Captain America.
Falcon is Captain America. That's what I meant.
It's actually that's what it is. It's Falcon playing the role of Captain America. You're not giving him.
But
it's cheesy, but you got to do better.
No, it's worse than that because do you see what's after the colon there?
Yes.
Yeah, they picked a bad time to use this title.
Yeah, I mean they should have just put Great Reset. Like what the frig, man? He'll probably be like helping them. Like this
who's
is
the villain
right.
in the
Great
who's the villain in
Reset's
this?
too
Klaus
on the
Schwab.
nose,
Is it Klaus Schwab? Is he the bad guy in this?
Yeah. No, because he would be the good guy for Marvel. So it'd probably be the Orange Man. Then you got the Thunderbolts, which if it's the group of characters I think it could be, it might be fun, but they're going to ruin it.
I'm sorry. They said they're not going to have Zemo lead the team. They're going to have what's her name there? Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh's going to lead the team, I
Yelena.
thought.
Yeah.
Why?
Yelena Belova. Because women. Damn it, Scott, you bigot.
You mean
Empowerment.
You mean frumpy Black Widow? I mean, she's a beautiful girl and they put her in her frumpy outfit.
She is.
Makes me sick. the Marvels, everyone's looking for. I need a cheeseburger, cracked out looking.
I actually had a picture of that last one.
Look how nasty.
What
Look how
the-
thin she looks. That girl is. I'm sorry. I'm not saying she is.
It's Captain Anorexic.
But I met a lot of
I
people
didn't
that
think
look
so.
like that in rehab.
I didn't think celebrities did meth. I thought it was smack. I don't know.
She looks terrible. She
I'm
looks
a pleb.
terrible. I hope she eats a cheeseburger. And that's it.
It's prescription meth, Etep.
Yeah. Everybody's doing
That's the
it.
good stuff. That's the stuff I need.
That's
right?
the good stuff. Here's
So-
that crew.
Stay
we were
thin
just
and
talking
pretty,
about.
baby.
Oh, here we go.
You want to share it?
Yeah, I got you.
This is where Wyatt Russell is coming back to, it looks like.
Oh, okay. I actually liked him in
I
the
like
role.
him.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was the best part of that show. But is it going to be the poorly CGI'd female taskmistress? Is she going to be the special taskmistress?
Yeah,
is
we
my
got
other question.
that chick there on the far end, and then you got the ghost chick from Ant-Man
Yeah.
and Wasp there.
And
You
I
got,
just love
David
That's the chick that was supposed to be Red Sonja, right, Tom?
Was she
the
really?
operative word.
She was going to be Red Sonja.
I can't even see that.
Not anymore. She backed out with the director. Yeah.
Like, okay, so 2 out of the 3 men you treat like goofballs. And one they're starting to treat like he's kind of not dumb, but like kind of naive because you no longer have Steve. So he'll be the naive one. Like, and the women are going to rock. Is that supposed to be, what's her name on the far left?
I'm trying to figure that out myself. I can't figure
That
it
can't
out.
be.
That's
Louis
Elaine
Dreifer?
from Seinfeld.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
she-
Elaine.
Oh,
Looks a
that's
lot better.
Julia
She's gonna do the
Louise
little
Dreyfus.
kicks.
That looks nothing
She's going to
like
do
her.
the little kicks.
Look at
That's
this.
terrible drawings.
Someone sent $30 while I'm on the stream. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for like ruining our whole joke, Sherpa.
No, you're the
I'm just
best,
kidding.
Sherpa.
Thank you so much for the support for Scott's
Yes.
channel.
Thank you. I love you, man. Sherpa, $30. Hail all on the panel and in the chat, listening to you guys while at work. And just wanted to say I have very little faith on what Marvel does post Infinity War. I agree totally.
Yep.
Totally. Infinity War, Endgame was whatever, but for me, Infinity War was it was the cap for me.
Yeah, well, Infinity War was the best thing that they got to, and then Endgame was like, okay, so Infinity War penultimate,
Yeah.
Endgame the last, and that should have been where it ended, and then they should have either rebooted they should have taken a break and then rebooted later, but that's not what they did.
Nope.
And I'm disappointed because they have done nothing of quality since Endgame. Nothing.
It's really sad. Like, you had such a good chance with Falcon becoming Captain America, but instead you turned the shield into being complicated. And that's what breaks my heart. Like, Sam loved Steve Rogers. His shield is not complicated. His shield fought for people, and he gave up his own country for what was right. And you're going to go and do that. Like, it makes me sad, man. It makes me sad that their message is more important than respecting their own MCU character. All right.
I think Bucky's gonna end up being gay.
Oh God, don't do this to me.
Bucky likes to fucky.
You know, ever since I got frozen, I just like men.
The best part about waking up is men in my cup.
Yes. You
That
know,
is in the 20th century.
Jane, did you just
Yeah.
Jane?
I'm telling you, that's what's happening.
Yeah, and he'll be in an interracial relationship with Sam.
Well, I mean,
especially because when their fans were calling for that, Sam's actor came out and was like, "No, they're just friends." So because he did that,
yeah, they're shipping them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me. Why? Why do you have to force? Like, that's like us taking like a gay character and saying, "Oh, he's gonna bang this chick." Like, we would be roasted for that.
It's not like they didn't show Bucky in, the first Avenger actually picking up women before going to war.
Well, he was hiding his gayness because he could have got arrested.
He's now, because he's 100 years old, he's now moved on.
No, that's not it. See, he was over sexualized with women because really he was gay, but in the army they would have arrested you, court-martialed you. So that's what they'll do. That's what they'll do if they're going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what? Make a new gay character. Call him, I don't know, the Cold War. I don't care.
Man. Just call him Gay Man. Like that's the
talking
whole idea of having a gay character is to the whole plot of their story is just being gay. So why not just call him Gay Man?
Yeah. Can we call him Gay X? Gay Man is too problematic.
Yeah, that's true. Bucky maybe being gay.
Well, look, you guys are missing the point. They did. He's not going to be. He's not going to be gay. No, Tom, you're fine. I was doing a bit, but no, I was just going to say, Bucky's not going to be gay. He's with the Wakandan chick who takes his arm off and just kind of, gives him the. He's fine with that. They're just a little freaky with it.
Okay,
he's not going to be gay.
That's who he should be with. That's
he should be.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm making a joke, but yeah, I thought they kind of alluded to that and. I did watch that show, as terrible as it was, and I was like, okay, so is there a thing between them? Because she was kind of, they got to know each other when he was in Wakanda, obviously. So that's kind of where I thought they were going with that. But it's like, nope, that's the wrong black person. He needs the man, not the woman, the man. And everybody's like, fuck me, right? All right, okay, I guess that's where we're going with it.
Instead of Batman, it's just Buttman.
Yeah, Buttman. I saw that. Pirate.
It gave me that idea.
That would have been a beautiful actual relationship. She's strong enough to be there mentally and physically with Bucky. Like Bucky, she was able to help break his programming. Like, why would you ruin a story that could be something that they work on for the next 10 movies? I don't give a shit. But like, slowly build a beautiful interracial relationship. Like, that's something they want to show, but they won't show it because they rather just be like, no, he's gay.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Well, he would have to be something new. It couldn't just be gay. So it would be like, I don't know, bi or non-binary. Or something.
Well, there's even a place you could tell an interesting story there, considering the time period that Bucky is from.
Right.
The idea, like, you could like push this idea that he does fall in love with a woman who happens to be black. But from the era he's from, that was so taboo.
Right.
That he has to overcome, and you actually have the actual stereotype there to work with. That's the problem. We built it a million times over that we could rewrite this stuff better for them than they can themselves, and still make it woke and entertaining at the same time. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No. I was pretty much going to say exactly what you just said. Like, that's an interesting story. That's an interesting concept. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I will say, as an Australian, like, the whole racist stuff and it's very much ingrained in the US.
No, it's not. You people are being tricked. There was
No, but what I mean by that is, from the outside looking in, like the Brits, for example.
That's what they want you to think.
They don't care. They don't care about like half the shit that goes on in America.
The least racist nation in the entire globe.
We ask for everybody's, everybody wants to throw these people away. Come over here. Come over here. We'll take care of you. Yes, there has been in the past when two different groups come together, they butt heads. Yes, we had slavery. Many nations in their past had slavery. Thank God go ahead, please, Jane.
No, I was just going to say, I think the obsession with race is something unique to America. I think in other countries,
I agree with you. No, it's something unique to the media.
In this modern form, I'll agree with Jane.
It's unique to the US media. It's unique.
Yes.
You're absolutely right, Jane. That's the point that I was trying to make, is that the like, as an Australian, when I see the wokeness put in and it's all got to do with the racism side of things, it's like, that means nothing to me as an Australian.
Right. But it means, see, that's the thing. Our media wants you to think that's all we think about. And we like to joke about it.
I don't empathize for those, the culture for actually going through those times and all of that sort of thing. But in the same token, like, can we get past it? Like, aren't we? Yes. I thought we were well past it.
We started to in the 90s.
In a lot of ways, yes. I mean, there were still pockets and areas that needed improving. And things like that, but not to the extent that they're trying to pretend.
In a free world, you are not going to eradicate racism. it's maybe in the future. Maybe
this stuff was being being beat like they went at this stuff head on way back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, and we've been going
as far
on
as the race thing.
My entire lifetime, it's been about eliminating slavery in other countries and all of the oppression in other countries. We've been a country who's been absent that or very limited in that for a very long time. You're still going to have ignoramus, just giant assholes in the world.
The thing is, you can chalk up a lot of what is quote unquote considered racist and nowadays as just pure ignorance, and not in the sense of like, you know, coming from a place of hatred or anything like that. It's just simply pure ignorance in most cases.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this? I gotta share this with you. I'm not sure if you actually saw it or not, but this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Could I just say while you're doing that, it's amazing how far this stream has come with you brilliant panelists. We used to like hold maybe 20 people, and we've, as long as I've been watching and now that I've been on, it's been over 100. You guys, this chat is brilliant. The panel's brilliant. Thank you guys.
We actually dropped the number of people we were holding when you joined us.
Yeah, well, that usually happens.
So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm going to play it, and hopefully you got audio. Let me know.
There's been a whole lot of discourse.
Yes.
Oh, this guy's an idiot. Are we doing this?
Yeah, I've got to do this because I've got to say something.
Okay.
There's been a whole lot of discourse about how the new Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power series doesn't exactly live up to the expectations and what Tolkien had in his mind. And I say good, because
I'm going to stop right there, Bruce, really quickly.
Who is this douche? Who is the douche, though?
I don't know, some douche.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we knew who he was.
He says good, like it's not Tolkien. Okay, so are you saying that you weren't a fan of Tolkien before? Because that, if you know, you can't say that you were a fan and you don't want it to be Tolkien. Moving on.
And for the purposes of this video, we're going to call this man Mr. Canoe, as in douche Canoe. That's his name. Yeah,
okay. He's a super fan.
I say good, because I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want the world view of someone who was born in the late 1800s to be what dictates what I watch on TV.
Dictates?
The year of our Lord 2020.
Dictates, did he say?
Of people's worlds.
Then don't watch it, motherfucker.
Right.
These people make
it wasn't made for him. It wasn't made for him.
It wasn't made for you.
But don't forget, it's the token white guy who's saying it too. Like, guys, look at me. I'm not racist.
Looks like a hobbit who molests people. I'm just going to say it up front.
Yeah. But basically, the point that I want to make is that I think this guy forgets that Tolkien was British.
Tolkien was so against racism.
Because no, but what I'm talking about,
I know.
Is like he's talking about like America and the racism that went on in America and the oppression and all of that sort of thing. Basically,
adaptations. You fill in the and racist bigotry that they had when they wrote this stuff in the 1950s. I mean, Tolkien was working on these books.
Wait a minute, time out. When did this book come out again? When did the book come out again? Right after like 10 years after the First World War?
I don't know, personally.
The Hobbit, I believe, did, yes.
Okay, The Hobbit. Okay. But the 50s?
It was another like 10, 15 years before Lord of the Rings come out, if I remember
I
right.
swore they were already out and they were going to try to make a movie by the 50s. Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
When black people weren't allowed in the same establishments as white people in the United States because of segregation.
Because of Tolkien.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. He's talking about the United States. Guess what? Tolkien didn't that's not where Tolkien's from. He didn't write mythology for America. It's not what it is. What the fuck are you talking about, you absolute dumb cunt? I'm sorry. It's just, oh my God.
Basically, what they are saying is they are advocating what we have tried to get away from in the same sense of whitewashing history and mythology. They want us to get to do that, but in the other direction. Yeah, what they want. Yeah, see.
Well, but that's because they're too cheap to actually do anything different in terms of actually investing the time and money into exploring the other parts of the world people like him and George and others created, or for that matter, entire other mythologies.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go backwards, because yes, the first book of the Lord of the Rings was 54, but the first book in the entire saga was 37.
Well, let me say this. Greek pantheon is racist because they're all Greek.
Yeah, yeah. And when were those written? Fuck this guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
Stupid.
Well, and if this is the case, then okay, then you need to start to going to these people. Okay, the next time we make a movie that's about like African mythology, then we need to see much more diversity there too. Or like a Japanese mythology, then we need to see more diversity there too. That is the dumbest shit in the fucking world, you moron.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Wakanda forever. Let's just make sure that half the cast are white.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling better be playing Black Panther. Why can't he replace Black Panther in the next film? I don't see why not.
They're going to insert white people in there randomly anyway, just like they did with the first one.
Yeah, the one token white guy and the one bad white guy.
Martin Freeman, you talking about?
Yeah, that was so dumb.
The two hobbits.
It was the two hobbits, you're right.
Yeah, they were both hobbits.
The bad guy turned into a bad guy. Yeah, you're right.
Want society to go back to then, and I sure as hell don't want our creative output to go back to the ideas of that time. I mean, hell, Tolkien taught at Oxford University, a place that is so blatantly racist that R.F. Kong had to write an entire book about it. Go check out that. So
this guy is a fucking shit.
Oxford is racist. Wait, what? Hold up.
What
Time
the
out.
fuck
Where
is
the
this
fuck did he get
talking
that
about?
shit from?
Who put this here?
So this is the thing. This is the thing with these people. Like, you can literally, they say these statements, and then like he's doing it behind the protection of a video here, obviously. But if you were talking to this guy face to face, and he was saying some of this stuff to you, which you probably wouldn't say, to be honest.
No, he's fucking terrified of confronting humans face to face.
But he might be stupid enough to say something or let something slip. You would be able to throw like one or two questions out at him after that statement, and it will debunk his entire statement.
Yeah.
Like, it just falls apart because it's just stupid that these people actually don't think. They don't use their brains.
If someone has an example of how Oxford's been extremely racist, please, because this is the first time hearing of it.
I Googled it, Tom.
I have no clue, man.
Was there more to that video, or
there was a little bit.
No, there is nothing substantive to this fucking idiot's arguments.
Yeah.
This guy is an indoctrinated piece of shit from the current education system. Academics are failing globally right now because of the indoctrination that's done. Nobody's allowed to think anymore. They're given their talking points, they're giving their thought processes, and that's why we can't do fucking math anymore anywhere on the globe.
Well, that's why we got to keep going. That's why we can't stop saying what we have to say.
There is a little bit more to it, and in all honesty, let's just listen to this.
Yeah, let's finish.
I was gonna say, how much left is there?
Listen to this.
An entire book about it. Go check out that. So fuck what Tolkien would have wanted or what he thought of.
Fuck
Lord of the Rings.
Tolkien?
It's ours now.
What he thinks.
Oh my God!
It's ours now.
We're gonna make it
gatekeeping, motherfucker.
Time out.
You see that he wrote about.
Is he working for Amazon? Because you're not making shit, you loser. You're making TikTok videos.
No,
that's all you're making.
Listen to that last bit. He says, "Fuck what Tolkien would have wanted."
Oh, we know that.
Like Tolkien's a critic of the Lord of the Rings, not the creator. That he's talking about Tolkien like he's just another fan out there, and this is how he viewed.
No, what he's saying. No, what he's saying is, "Fuck what Tolkien wrote. We're doing what we want with it now."
Yeah, but listen.
Well, I think Ryan's more right in that respect.
You think so?
Yeah.
Listen. Stop talking over him and listen.
All right, breathe.
Had to write an entire book about it. Go check out that. So fuck what Tolkien would have wanted or what he thought of the Lord of the Rings.
What he thought of Lord of the Rings.
So
some person just that read the Lord of the Rings and didn't actually create it. Like this.
Or is he talking about Rings of Power? Or is he talking literally the Lord of the Rings? Like that. Does
it really matter?
It doesn't matter. He's a fucking idiot.
Picks one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, what an idiot.
It's ours now. We're making it. We're going to make it reflect real life, not his white power fantasy that he wrote about.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
But this shit gets to stay up, right?
White
this shit,
power fantasy.
I gotta say
because
something.
I seen all the people that were diverse getting the shit kicked out of them and killed during the Lord of the Rings films. That's what it was all about. It's like, fuck all the black people and the Asian people and all this shit. We're gonna kill them all. That's what it was. Right? So much white supremacy. Yeah. What the fuck is he talking about?
All I'm gonna say is this: I know for a fact if we started assuming what somebody else felt, we would get kicked off. Our stream would get taken down. These people on TikTok, I've had 3 different freaking TikTok channels because I thought an idea. This kid is literally talking shit on a master of fantasy, telling him to fuck off, calling him a white supremacist with no proof, and that video will stay up. That's the hypocrisy of all this shit. We're going to end it there, guys. Wow.
What does that say
a
about
shit
him
show.
being a fan of this shit if it's that bad? I mean, really?
He does. I ask him, name the fellowship. He wouldn't be able to do it.
Nah,
I
'cause
bet
he's
you
full of
money
shit.
on that.
No way. No way in hell would he be able to name the fellowship.
What a piece of shit.
He'd be like, isn't that Kim Kardashian and Chloe? Isn't that the fellowship?
Yeah, the fellowship. I'm just going to say it one more time. He cannot. I will ask him to come on right now. He could freaking study and he still won't get it.
Sparking fact.
Last time I checked, it was Ring of Powers was the show that was putting people at the back of the bus. I mean, I'm just saying.
I hear you on that. All right, guys, let's close this up. Thank you, Culture First. Thank you for covering. Thank you for being the host. I appreciate you, my friend.
For you, brother.
You're the best. No, man. Thank you for everything you do.
All you, dude. Always.
Thanks.
Everybody's here for you, brother. Love you, man.
I mean,
you know what, Culture? I think we need to do some karaoke.
Oh, you bastards.
Oh, it is late.
I knew you'd say that.
Etep Wokuian, thank you for being here,
sir.
brother. Thanks for actually making the full time for us. Etep actually canceled his stream to come on for a whole stream.
He delayed it.
Oh, you're going on after?
We are going on, in about probably a half hour because my fat ass has to go eat something, and then
Dude,
I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna do a late night stream tonight.
Put the link in now. 109 people. Please stop over there and watch them. All right.
All right.
Yeah, you know what? He deserves it. I mean, as one of the 27,000 balds we had on tonight.
Yeah, and he also, man, I mean, the guy is one of the hardest working putting video after. He's like the quartering with videos, just popping them out.
Not only that, he looks like he's gonna go chop some trees down later.
All right, let me go. I'm gonna put this in here. Don't you all leave yet. Hold on. There's the link right there. If 100 of you show up, it'll double his subscribers. Okay, let's go. He missed that. He missed it.
No, I caught that. I caught it. I acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. It's
I love
okay.
you, buddy. I love you.
I love you too, man.
We got to get a new updated
you know
ending.
What? Send me a list.
I will. It changes so fast. And now hopefully we got a bunch more.
Oh, dude, you added a bunch tonight because
thank you, George.
Yeah.
Oh, George and who? Was it Eric or somebody?
There are other people. And
All
Eric K. And you know what? You should, I'm glad I'm running your show. God.
I really am too. So guys, make sure you stop by Monday night for our review of House of the Dragon.
Promote Jane because Jane's doing amazing stuff.
Jane is amazing. Anybody's watching me is watching Jane.
No. There's way more people watching Jane.
That's what I mean. So if anybody's here, they're probably here because they follow Jane. Thank you, Jane. But Jane will be on the money stream, so come follow us there. She's back. It's the even number, right? Or odd? Yeah. Even number. Yeah.
And not only that, Jane's got. You know what? Jane has a stream tomorrow morning.
Yes. No, it was today, wasn't it?
Was it? It was this morning.
Yeah. Oh. Way to watch it.
Nina's tomorrow.
What's happening tomorrow?
Nina tomorrow night will be on there talking about Rings of Power. Monday night we're talking House
Jane,
of the Dragon.
Jane. So Jane, you were on this morning?
Yeah.
It's every Saturday, dude. You're not a fan.
That's a lie.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, fuck. I object. I am not in this. Why are you doing this one?
It's a commercial. You kept talking through my trying to float it.
Dude, I'm really.
Damon.
Yeah, good